Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome to our New Year's Eve special here on the CFC. It says it starts at 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I mean, this is about as close to 11 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time as you could even possibly have expected us to come on. So, please, now, I mean, let's be honest. This is episode 609. We've got Joe, Jim, and Watcher, and myself will be ringing in the new year, at least until Montana time. And well, it was at 3 hours from now. I mean, Joe, we could easily just start talking and then like be like, "Oh shit, it's New Year's there."
Yeah, that's
you know,
awesome. Hey,
the
speaking
way
of
we're
on Montana time, we have a Shield Arms. You can't really see it, but
oh, that's awesome.
Arms frosted mug that says "Ante Omnia Armare," always be armed.
Very
So
good.
happy New Year's and representing our friends at Shield. So
Well, so Joe, how you doing? How you doing today, brother? How's the
not bad.
weather?
It was 11 degrees when I woke up, which was pretty spectacular for Thor because he loves that. Not so spectacular for the tiny Chihuahua who was not a fan. He was like, "I'm from Mexico. I don't do this." So it was. It's been a good day. Got a lot done around town and ran into old Hong Kong's Mrs. Old Hong Kong at the grocery store and. Just a good day all around. New Year's Eve, getting things around, putting up flyers for our classes, which I'm going to do some shameless plugging because that's what New Year's Eve is all about. Next weekend, the 9th through 11th, we've got Canadians coming down for our winter fieldcraft class, along with some Idahoans. So there is still room for people to join us. Winter fieldcraft, where we talk about movement, camouflage, and camping in the winter, and how to make that fun. A couple of days after that, on the 15th of January, our friend Kay from Combat Studies Group will be here doing his famous 2 day ground rod class, which is like drinking from a water hose on cybersecurity, phone security, and really locking down the leakage of your personal information. But it's a great course, and I highly recommend it. We have, I would say several, but not really several. We have a few seats left for that. Then the 17th and 18th, Kay is going to stick around and do gunfight concepts. Rumor has it Mrs. Tactical Wisdom may be in that one. I don't know that I want her learning gunfight concepts, but she may very well be. But there's spots in that one available too. And then the weekend after that, we go back to combatives. So we've got a lot of classes going on in the winter. Things to go. Patrick, I see your comment about a tactical vest for Thor. He has one. The Chihuahua just can't ride in it, but he does have his own tactical vest. So anyway, that's me. That's where we're at. We got things going on. Fun times.
Very cool. Very cool. Old Hong Kong is with us today, and you know, if Old Hong Kong is here, then we're talking China. We're talking money.
Whoa!
We're talking problems.
Hold on.
Jim, how you doing, brother?
I have to stop for the $50.
Oh, is it over on Rumble? Oh, there it is. Biggin 599 for $50. Start off the new year with a decent bottle of bourbon. Amen, bro.
And I know that this man knows a thing or two about bourbon because he has sat at my picnic table out here by the fire and had a bourbon with us. So.
I'm gonna turn it over to Jim, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, I just topped my bourbon. So
oh my, a tradition from a long time's coming back.
Yeah, it's so yeah, happy New Year, y'all. And hey Rick, it's good to see you all. Yeah, busy times in the world. So lots of crazy going on. Everybody's been watching what's going on in Taiwan, but I think there's some things at home that are more critical than what's been going on vis-a-vis Taiwan. But it's all connected to, what I would describe as a new concept in policy, which the Trump White House has, and they're going to be resetting a lot of things. And it's got a lot of the power base in DC just apoplectic, which from my perspective is good, right? We're going to have to shake the place up. If we can't fire hose out the 7th floor, we're going to have to shake it up. And I think Trump's people are shaking it up, but not nearly as quickly as we would hope. I know Joe's been a little frustrated about it. And we've heard watcher vetching for 6 months about it. It's true. It's true, Watcher. The younger generation, you guys have a bigger grievance. The GWAT kids have a major grievance here. And it's one of those things that the oldsters like me and somewhat Joe, we hear the complaints and we see it from a decade or two.
Yeah.
And you can't and you can't say you're
You have
wrong.
the hat on.
You can't say you're wrong, right? So
No, it's true.
yeah, so we listen, and it's one of those things of even though you might be graying and slowing, you can still learn from the youngsters because they've had a different experience. Xi Jinping's in a really tough place right now. He's purged the hell out of the Central Military Commission. He is probably feeling really alone, and that doesn't bother me much, except from the standpoint that it bumps the risk levels up, and it creates a bit of unpredictability. So, watching what the Taiwanese are doing, I'm really impressed with the professionalism of the Taiwanese military. The thing that concerns me most in Taiwan is the KMT's relationship with the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah.
And, that's been going on since the revolution. They've always had this, we're Chinese first concept. And what's been broken is the covenant of Chinese first, because that's a Han Chinese kind of, we're all brothers, and, the clans have to continue to have this relationship. I think the Taiwanese have broken from that. And that's what's really, really got Beijing and Zhongnanhai worked up, is the fact that the Taiwanese have their own identity.
Yeah.
And go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I think you're right on the money there, and we need to kind of talk about that, because this whole tribalism idea that drives the Han identitarian kind of politics in the mainland China has been broken by the idea, like the Renaissance, Enlightenment ideas of, hey, the individual is actually important, and what you have to say actually means something, not just like your super group that you're a part of, right?
Yeah,
I want to get into that.
Yeah, this is the rub. This is the rub about the United States. When I'm talking to the people I work with in Europe, they circle the thing that pisses them off, and the thing that pisses them off is the concept of American individual liberty, right? And it's enshrined in our Bill of Rights. It is why we have a Constitution. It is about the individual and the ability to exercise your individuality, your rights. And they get nuts about it because it's completely the antithesis of what the EU is preaching now. It's the antithesis of the green movement. It's the antithesis of the carbon taxes. You just infuriate them by existing. And when they start saying, hey, well, you can't say that. Well, no, actually you can, right? I can say anything I want. And I'm actually pretty reserved. You guys know this. I'm always hopeful, right? So I very seldom spout fighting words or anger or things like that. I just say people are wrong. But in Europe, that's become a crime.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
I have to address two things. I have to address Jim calling me old. Let me point something out. The guy next to me is only like 3 years younger than me. And two,
your son over here
on Operation Eastern Exit, we were shooting Somalis before it was cool. I'm just saying. So, but I have something else for the chat though. You dropped that $50 for a bottle of bourbon. I have right here this clear bottle, and there are several of you who know what this is.
Oh, that's dangerous right there.
That's brush beater stuff.
Hold on. Those of you who watched me and Matt on Angry American that night knows what happens. This is still sealed, hasn't been opened. It's not water. If the appropriate deposit makes its way to my Venmo, we will open it live on the screen. I'll let you decide what that is, and I'm going to drop the Venmo link over there.
First of all,
I'm glad there's no pineapple in it.
Right. There's a pear.
There's no pineapple in this one.
No, it was a pear, if I remember correctly.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, that's the famous 6 second aged, correct?
Yes, this is the one where Matt said, "A sip of that put me in another dimension."
Yeah.
This actually comes from Tennessee, Southern Pride Distillery. It's 100% legal for you revenue agents over there.
So, well-armed corgi for $9.99 says, "May the odds ever be in your favor in 2026." You know, that's I won't lie. The left was trying to meme off of the whole, it's the Hunger Games. You know, the America Games are going to be the Hunger Games. Well, let's be honest. That was a really funny comparison, and what really pissed them off was not when they made fun of it, but was when we started agreeing and laughing at. You know, first of all, I think it's gonna be great, but then again, you got to admit, two people from each, a man and a woman from each state. Yeah, I mean, it's a little on the nose there, so it's not exactly a clever meme, but it was. I feel like we are living in the Hunger Games now.
The funny part, and the crap, I can't believe they would have done this to themselves. No one could ever be cast as the hyper effete, effeminate, nasty looking, bubblegum haired capital people than them, right? Like it's
they are literally those people. I mean, just look at the Met Gala. That's literally there are. I mean, is there a conservative at the Met Gala? I don't think so. By the way, in response to your your $50, it's not the best, the finest bourbon, but a fucking good one. So that is here sitting next to me. I have a shot glass. I'm just saying that it is afternoon here in South Korea.
But it is Korea. It is Korea, and daytime drinking in Korea is perfectly legit.
It is a cultural thing.
I think it's called a national sport.
And by the way, somebody's saying that I didn't want to show off my shorts. No, I'm embracing my inner Gachnet today. So I got the Adidas tracksuit on.
Scott's gonna be buying a G-Wagon when he comes back to the States. It's terrible.
Hey man, shockingly, a 10-year-old G-Wagon is only like in the mid 50s.
Yeah, they're not bad. I will say, Scott, that might not be the finest bourbon, but I think that is the finest bourbon available at a PX.
Well, it's the finest bourbon that I have in my house. That I'll be honest with you, it's about like 1/3 of a bottle left, and this has been in there for about 2.5 years. So
a couple of notes on the chat. Be prepared. He has an RBS hat, but that's not it. That's West German Sumpfarm. Scott and I also have matching hats in that. We have a couple matching hats. We're a little weird like that.
This is that camo thing.
And Patrick, I can't believe you have the nerve to tell others to be careful around liquor after what happened to you down at Mountain Readiness, my friend.
Oh boy.
And be prepared. You knew that I would correct you on the camo patterns. You know, Jim posted an interesting picture earlier today and asked about the 2026 camo drip contest that went on in Africa. And the undisputed winner is indeed Major Traoré of Burkina Faso.
Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Just because it has good drip doesn't mean it's super effective anywhere in the world.
No, doesn't mean you're trying to hide. Doesn't mean you're trying to hide, right?
Yeah. It's absolutely.
That's why I put that post out. It was like, okay, what are the fashion colors going to be for the year? So every year in the fashion world, right? Paris and London, they choose color. And my question was the really deeply gay question of, is that orange still going to carry over into the new year? Is it going to be something like given Venezuela? I think it's going to go back to B81. I think it's going to be the stuff that everyone who was issued anything in 1980, it's going to be that. We're back.
Yeah. Well, the Cold War's back, right? I mean, that's
exactly. Reporter on steroids.
But yes, I got that transaction, and no, it's nowhere near enough. but if we get there in the aggregate, I'll still roll with it. So,
all right. And if you haven't supported the channel and you'd like to, in the waning hours, super chats are appreciated. And let me get everybody to stop for a moment and do something. Hit the like button right now. Let folks know that you're having a good time with us. Let the algorithm know. That's how you communicate directly with YouTube's algorithm. Rumbles is a little wonky. Sometimes we get a lot of likes and it doesn't do any good, and other times, anyway. So whatever platform you're watching us on, please hit that like button. That would be really really awesome. And
I'd like to
Watcher,
warn everyone in advance. Go ahead.
It's your turn, so I just want to say Happy New Year's. How's life in the Sasquatch camp?
Well, Happy New Year, Scott. Good. I woke up with a headache, but I tried to fix it right before the show and was successful. So yeah.
Oh, I hear that headaches can be a sign of pregnancy. So
it could. Yeah, well, that or just being very.
I mean, I wouldn't want to
dehydrated
assume your gender or anything like that, but
catching the sinus crap my kids apparently have. So anyhow,
that sucks.
Doing good. One of the 2 Chimkin orders is heading out the door, and many of you asked, and one of the patch guys, actually, it turns out I have 3 people who make patches that follow me. What do you know? One of them reached out and is now working on a design for the exact patch you guys asked for. I'm gonna bring that up here on screen. That would be a a Chimkin in Vietnam gear with "Welcome to the Barnyard, Mother Clucker." I like that. Yeah. So
Hold on. John Kaiser has reached it already, so thank you, John.
hold on.
Is this going to be Joe's junk stream?
I'm working on it right now. I can't get the plastic off of it.
Oh, that's plastic?
Yeah, this came from an actual distillery.
Oh,
yeah, they actually pay taxes to their revenuers.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, here, I got a knife right here. Stand by. Give me just a second. We'll get her open. So just to show proof that we are cracking this bad boy right now. Uh-oh. It's already dripping.
While Joe does that, I'm just gonna introduce this and warn everybody. There's gonna be sometimes just random stuff I think you'll enjoy on the screen that's not even related to the combo. But yeah, because there's not any specific topic tonight. I'll try and bring up stuff that's relevant, but sometimes it's just like, hey, look, cute dogs.
It's the stove.
Let's be honest. There are a lot of topics to talk about tonight. We haven't the year was almost like, hey, listen, I don't know if I filled up enough spots. Oh, awesome. Yeah, there you go. You got your brush beater cup. Oh, Joe, come on.
Yeah, I can't help it. It's way too full. There we go. It is in there. All right, here we go.
I'll bring you bacon this week. You're going to need it.
I can smell that from here, Joe.
Wow.
So there are a couple of questions about my Panama hat. So my Panama hat was 35 years old and it died last year. So
it was an epic hat too.
Well,
it was
really
probably from
the right hat. And I'm in the wrong part of the country to find my tropical hat. So,
yeah, here it's cowboy hats or nothing, baby.
Oh no, it's lacquered cowboy hats. So that's a bit of a drag.
All right.
But yeah, the
B81
is age appropriate.
Thank you.
You go, Joe.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. You just drink direct right from the jar.
Oh, I know, but I had to pour some into that glass so I could actually drink from the jar without it getting everywhere.
You just need a straw.
Now, unlike Matt, I'm going to wait a couple of minutes and see what happens.
Yeah. See how you feel, Joe.
Yeah.
Let's show that maturity and
FP Fave, the Russian and Polish cheers thing you did on there. If you can never remember how to say it right, just say "nice stove you got" really fast, and it's close enough.
Yeah.
Too funny.
All right, guys. What do you think right now is the number one topic on everybody's mind when it comes to, I don't know, unrest, conflict? disorder in foreign or abroad. What do you guys vote? Let's just do a quick poll of the council here. Is it Iran? Is it China? Is it fraud in America? Is it Somalia?
Can I start?
Go for it.
Okay, so Watcher and I had a little bit of an exchange earlier in the week. It's everywhere all the time.
All the time.
I think we talked about this, and what it is there's an immense amount of geopolitical power and an immense amount of money being spent on just fucking with everybody. Excuse my language. I tend not to like to use that word, but there's just a desire to break things by nation states, big bags of money, and just angry folk, right? And we're seeing that the erstwhile bombers and the erstwhile shooters and the folks that are on the radar and the folks that are dealing with the paid undercover assets who nurture them. We're in a period of time when there's just going to be everything everywhere. And it really puts an immense amount of pressure on the people in government who are supposed to manage this. And this is where we have to have hope. And I know Joe cringes when he hears me talking about hope. But you got to hope that there's some great people up there who will step up and try to sort some of this shit out. I'm not seeing it yet. But that's where I go. It's going to be everywhere all the time. And it's going to be the craziest shit you've ever seen. And I think the corruption in Wisconsin and Minnesota, Ohio, Massachusetts, California, Oregon, and Washington is just an off the charts craziness because of the numbers of billions of dollars and the fact that pretty much everybody seems to have been complicit. So I'm done.
Yeah.
No, it was well said.
Y'all can thank John Kaiser for what's about to happen because I can feel this.
Well, Joe, let's get lucid while you still are. Before we lose you, you have to take a nap.
Hunter, this is what your 241 tactical boonie is going to look like for the record. So this was Marpat.
Very nice.
Anyway,
so do you put your dip? You put your dip in those little flexi things on top of the hat?
Yes, IR, IFF.
I thought it was for dip.
That's where you put your. Well, first of all, you can put a couple of $1 bills up there just in case you run into one of them places. But it's really
you did do Shore Patrol. So Dolio just self-identified as Shore Patrol.
He did.
You did Shore Patrol in Africa. Damn it! $1 bills in my hat, Jim.
My job was to travel the off-limits list and find all the young wayward Marines who weren't supposed to be there and guide them back where they belong.
There are no young Marines that are ever wayward. They are always forthright. Exactly, Watcher. See, I'm speaking to you, Watcher.
Yeah, he knows. We've been rumbled, boys.
Joe, what for you? What's the kind of the number one story that's kind of on the tip of your tongue these days?
The one that everyone is kind of dropped by the wayside, and it's Venezuela. That has not gone away. In fact, it's escalating. And I think that we're going to see something happen on it kinetically relatively soon.
Oh, Juan Gringo for $50. Happy New Year's, gents. Thank you for all your efforts and work. No, man, thank you. I agree with you, Joe. I think it's oddly enough, I guess the kinetics have already begun. I have not seen like verifiable, reliable sources on that, but that is the word that's around the campfire.
That's the word I heard earlier today too, was that there were some actions that were ongoing that may make the news and may never. But I
would imagine it's really a lot like what we did in Pakistan with those kind of drone strikes in the middle of nowhere. If the drones you in the middle of the jungle, did it happen?
Well, no,
nobody was there.
It's that side of the shop, right? They have the target list, and you hit the targets, and you go, oh, I don't know what happened. They must have had too much ether, right? It's like somebody opened the barrel of ether, and good Lord, look at that blast in the middle of the jungle. How has that happened? And it's funny that the first target was the kind of Colombian narco terrorist leftist folks in the mountains on the border. So yeah, sit back and get the popcorn and go, golly. The downside to sitting back and watching with popcorn is that maybe some young people will be sent in to have to actually fight this, and the complexity of this, is like Panama, but it pales. Panama was a simpler, tighter, smaller place, even with its flaws.
Yeah,
Venezuela and Colombia, that's some serious turf. So you got to get the indigenous people on side, and there are people out there in the chat who've done this, professionally. It's not easy. So hopefully they're doing it professionally and they're getting everybody on side. But we're not the bad guys in this one. The bad guys have been killing thousands of people in our country, and I'm okay taking out boats full of cocaine or any other compound.
I would be okay if things in Mexico start blowing up. I mean,
well, I think the Mexicans did that because we basically said to them, "You better start doing this." So they sent us a boatload of guys or a plane load of guys, and they got the guy that killed Kiki Camarena. I like.
What didn't they get like 40 guys? Basically straight to the Supermax.
It's a family preying upon itself, right?
Yeah.
And they know they have to sacrifice some of their own, and so they sacrificed a bunch of these guys, and they'll sit in Pelican Bay and the other nice little prisons we have, and it'll cost us $100,000 a year for each of them, but given what we've been spending in Minneapolis, good Lord, it's a rounding error.
Hey, Watcher, this is completely off topic, but don't you owe me a picture of Patty Main holding a book?
Patty Main.
Oh,
you gotta love Patty Main.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry, I completely forgot.
Well, be prepared now. We're just having a chat, and I was talking in Scottish, and I was like, "Hey, Patty Main, Irish, need a book." My brain works in weird ways. So
you were speaking in Scottish. It was that mason jar, Joe. That'll make you speak Gaelic.
We're working on it. We're working on it.
We're just being
smart about this. And Patrick said that they should all have to have. Wow, John has really paid out the money tonight because he's
Kaiser John. You have cleared your account for the year, my friend. Thank you very much for $100. Says Happy New Year, Council, Dora, Chimkins, and all. No, but man, we
Kaiser
really
John,
appreciate.
By the way, I want to thank you personally for these. I've got them for Scott and Watcher. I just have to get them to them. So
that's very cool. What is that?
It's a challenge coin from a modeling group that John Kaiser sent to me. So we've got a few of them here. Veteran men.
It's not the Chippendales models, is it?
Not that kind of model. Like,
okay, just
tanks and planes and such. So.
I got you.
It's a different kind of ask given the audience.
That's right.
Mr. John Kaiser, I just want to say thank you, sir. You were the last one to put in a Chimkin order, and yours is the only one still out on the books, but they are being made. We appreciate you, man.
And I'm not speaking in tongues yet. I got a ways to go before that happens. But Old Hong Kong, I want to apologize to you because I was at a loss for something that rhymes with Eve. So I said, come watch the show on New Year's Eve because Old Hong Kong is wearing a weave. It's the only guy I could come up with. So
that's like the least of my problems. You
should have said because Old Hong Kong's real name is Steve.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of at the point. I'm kind of at the point when I want to kill it all, and my wife is like, "Oh, never shave your head." But I'm at that aged point where, I almost want to take it all.
Never give up. Never surrender.
Never surrender.
Listen to me, Juan. Listen to me.
He's not even make it to the first New Year.
Many a campfire together, and you know better than that. Actually, me, you, and Watcher sat around a campfire together. The funniest thing from that first night when we sat around a campfire together, Juan, was I turn around and Don is choking somebody out. I'm like, Don, what are you doing? He goes, he wanted a demonstration. I'm like, you can't choke him out, Don.
Speaking of Don, I wonder what he's doing on New Year's.
I'm going to text him right now. Somebody then went off trying to catch a armadillo with their bare hands.
Oh, yeah. That went interestingly.
They make
it was
good
right after. I think the same person messed up me and Watcher about to slay a whole bunch of pigs.
Could be.
We were dialing in on him and somebody shouted, "Hey, who's got my nods?" And the pigs. That's all right.
Those pigs had unbelievable I don't know what you call it, but like map presence. They understood exactly where the neighbor's property where we could not shoot them on was, and they made a beeline directly for it. I've never seen something like that.
So silver futures in America right now are about $71. In Japan, physical silver is $130 an ounce. In Korea, they have a specific kimchi premium, is what they call it, for gold and silver bars that you can buy, and it's. I was doing the math. Like, these are bars they buy at retail.
Or what?
They call it the kimchi premium, right? Because it's Korea, everything's kimchi something, right? And so like I was doing and it was like at least 25 to 30% above. Like the melt value of the gold that they were selling.
Shanghai?
I don't know. I've never been to Shanghai
because they just decoupled from everybody else, and so like they now officially have their own market price because it's harder. As of today, it's significantly harder to get any silver out of China. Period. You have to be like one of 4 or 5 massive companies that are able to put up huge collateral and basically have government presence installed inside your company for you to be allowed to send even an ounce of silver outside of China.
I can't imagine there might have been a coordinated mechanism to try to pull silver metal out of China with a chunk of dough. But yeah, the Chinese have cracked down on border crossing of actual metals.
Watcher, I'll be honest with you. You are way more trusting in the efficiency and the lack of corruption in the Chinese system than.
Well, no, that's official transport out, and that's what gets recorded. If it gets unofficially transported out, that doesn't get recorded the same way. That just looks like a regular Western transaction.
That's absolutely beautiful, Derna, by the way. That's a great idea. I'm going to have to find some shoes.
What's this?
I would suspect, yes, for what you're saying, yes, I would suspect there's going to be a weird increase in the illegal trading of, or in the legal trading of silver in the, I would bet the Macau market and probably also the Australian market where they have closer access to. But that it wouldn't look like it was coming out of China on the books, if that makes sense.
Well, I saw a video. They bake a lot of jewelry, kind of low end jewelry in China, and I saw the giant silver ingots, at a market. And I guess it was recent video. And I don't know what recent means exactly, but
that new law kicked in on the 1st, which means that there's going to be a lot of people who are going to have a lot of supplies of Chinese stuff that just came out.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. There's plenty in China, so I bet if anything, the price is going to crash in China, and the arbitrage opportunities will actually make the smuggling, way more viable.
So this is
Jim, a little more.
This is a classic. This is an industrial decision that'll have an impact on other things, but the other things are irrelevant to the Chinese. So to the Communist Party, it's irrelevant. They've made an industrial decision, which is they never want to be short silver, physical silver. And this is where you get into, metals. People start talking about investing in metals. I can invest in metals. And somebody somewhere should have the physical metal I'm investing in. it isn't the I have the coins in my hand business. And that's what the Chinese are most concerned about, is that the non-physical will pull all of the physical that's available in the open market to the point where they will run into a problem getting it for what they need to do strategically, because it's a strategic mineral. You got to have the metal. And
any kind of electronics production needs.
Yeah, we've seen that across pretty much every one of the rare earths and every one of the exotic metals. So that'll continue.
What's your take on all the short positions, the bank shorts that basically are what is it, like 400 and 500% of the actual total silver production in the world right now?
People went long, and yeah, it was an overexposure, and then people went short, and that was an overexposure. So yeah, somebody will get hurt. I don't think it's catastrophic, but somebody will get hurt.
And the fact that it's at 71 right now, I mean, this is from a ex post, so your mileage may vary here, but silver was on a direct path to $90 this week. The momentum was high, but then mysteriously crashed. Now we know why. Margin hikes raised to 25K to force small players out. Bank bailout liquidity injected over to cover 35 billion in failed short positions. Price discrepancy, street prices reach $50 over spot, but charts remain down to protect institutions betting against silver.
I'm going to call fake crisis.
Yeah.
I think this was one of those things that somebody who is being paid to disrupt decided to make this a crisis. I don't think it's a crisis. I think it's just a trading inefficiency in a really volatile market where people are looking for safe havens. And silver's great. I mean, but silver at $70. I mean, I remember silver at $4 and $5 an ounce, right? So it's good to have silver around. And I think we've probably had this conversation over the years. It's not a bad thing to have, 50, 100 ounces of silver, because it's easier to use than gold. It's smaller, it'll buy you a day's worth of groceries. It converts well. People will have the cash in their pocket to trade you for the silver. It's just a better metal from a transactional standpoint. With gold at $4,000 an ounce, so what are you going to do with an ounce of gold? Right? You're going to pull an ounce out of your pocket and say to the guy, "Hey, I'll give you $4,000 now." But what ends up happening is you end up trading that 1 ounce coin for what you need urgently in a crisis. Right. It's just a bad gig. So having silver around is not a bad idea.
Yeah, and here's the thing with something like silver. Yeah, I mean, buying at $70 hurts, but I mean, it's not, just having a little. If you only have a little, having a little more won't hurt. Dollar cost average, because if it's 150 this time next year, you're kind of like, well, that $70 looks pretty good, but it hurts if you buy it today, right? Because you're only looking at it relative to what it cost, say, 3 months ago. So
my father had a very good point on metals. So my father spent World War II in a prison camp, lost everything to the Japanese once, lost everything to the Chinese the second time. And I remember sitting and talking to him about gold, and he was sitting there looking at me over a cup of tea, and he said, an ounce of gold to buy a good suit. He said, and I bet in 30 years, an ounce of gold to buy a good suit.
It'll buy you a pistol.
It'll buy you a really nice good suit right now. I mean,
yeah.
But yeah, it's actually hard to find good suits, just FYI. But he was right. An ounce of gold to get you a good suit. And that was maybe 1973. So things don't change, right? You have that kind of thing in your portfolio because you want to have it and you want to have physical control of it. And not a bad idea. I mean, Joe's into gold backs. He's got those floating around. He takes them. There's a reason for that. It's a hedge. It's a hedge about all the things we talk about every day.
And listen, the best time to buy silver was a year ago. The next best time is today.
Yeah. Well, no, it's that cost averaging thing. Just physically having the silver. So this comes back to the personal resilience argument. just having it in possession is not a bad thing. You may not be in the money at some point, but you have it in possession, and when you need it, it's there. It isn't a terrible thing.
Well, let's be honest,
crazy.
right? I mean, if I want to invest money, there's other things I'll invest my money in to like
piece.
those in.
I'm just saying.
Well, but there's
Sure.
that, but the reason we buy gold and silver is not because we're like, oh, this is my retirement fund, or this is my, this is sound money that when people when you can't get a hold of your investment manager because, there's a riot in this city and his office is burning down. You've got your gold. It's physical. It's something that you could trade if you needed to trade for something important, like when the credit card machines stop working because the phone lines are down, or there's some sort of other kind of network panic or something along these lines.
Yeah,
we've all read the books, right?
Sort of a rainy day fund.
If you're in one of these countries that collapsing, I know a few companies that say, hey, 2 gold coins will get you out. But that's just a rumor. But
got to pay the ferryman.
Yeah.
And so there's an interesting movement underway now in Europe to get Visa and MasterCard out of Europe. American Express, Visa and MasterCard.
Whoops.
So would that be because they fear American sanction power via Visa and MasterCard? Because that's what.
It goes back to SWIFT. It goes back to all the stuff we talked about in the past. It's just the Europeans are getting angry, right? And the fact that they're taxing our internet platforms the way they are, and they call it fining, but it's a tax. They're making more money out of taxing X and Meta and all those guys than they are out of anything else. So it's a revenue generator. And so they're going to take the opportunity to create alternatives to our credit card companies. And, and what's really funny is those credit card companies will come to the US and try to open the product here. It'll become like SIM cards. You'll go to Europe and you'll buy a SIM card. Yeah. But for the credit card companies, it's an issue.
Well, honestly, and I know that this is not the strategic view, but they kind of fucked themselves on this one, and I'm kind of okay saying, hey, you shat your bed, go and lie in it. Because they're the ones who've literally been trying to foist censorship on us. I don't know if you've seen this, Jim, but they've been in a lot of trouble lately for basically saying, no, you can't make these kind of video games, or no, you can't make these kind of videos. And hey, Japan, you need to completely censor your entire, all of your artistic industries. They need to be censored to Western standards, or we won't allow you on our payment processors. Oh, by the way, gun people, we're probably not going to allow you to process payments through us. And all of this bullshit, I view them as a monopoly whose time has passed.
You talking about the Senate?
Talking about MasterCard and Visa.
Sorry, just had to be inflammatory.
Oh, it's true. But
so just a question to chat. What are you guys seeing out there? What are people concerned about? I've had
one they sent me, and it's a good video. It's humorous, but it brings up the point. And we can get into the actual seriousness of it after the humor, but I don't know if you guys have seen this yet. It's great. Oh.
Same footsteps, same crack stone.
I just mute it. The visuals are good enough.
They've been threatening this boy, and I don't mean a little bit. They've been directly saying, "Hey, we're going."
Oh, he's been posting the death threats on X.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy is worth his weight in gold, that's for sure. And there's so many great young people who are out there kind of doing this thing. I mean, he's obviously getting way more attention than many of them. But for instance, he was there but so is that old guy from Minneapolis, man. I mean, that guy, talk about somebody who's under threat. That guy is going to be under threat. Joe,
Yeah.
if
Somalia is one of those towns where bad stuff can happen pretty darn quick. So, yeah, I would be watching for that.
somebody wearing a Jason mask.
No,
Yeah,
this is the guy who assassinated that other lawmaker who was
Yeah,
the
this
only
is,
person to go against this. Yeah, I don't know if you heard this, but like she gave an interview.
That's Tim
hours.
Walz's guy. Yeah.
She gave an interview hours before she got whacked, saying that she was coming after that she was the only person in the legislature there in Minnesota that was willing to stand up to fraud, that she was voting against expanding welfare to illegal immigrants because of fraud, and that she feared for her life.
There were two people who voted against it that were Democrats, and they were both killed that night.
Interesting.
And
Wow.
guess what? When the guy was caught, he's a political appointee of Tim Walz. And when he was caught, he said, Tim Walz asked me to do it, and it has vanished. The story is gone.
Yeah. I wonder
Ordered
what happened
him
to
to
that
do it,
guy.
yeah.
Is he in a federal hole somewhere, or
That's the presumption, but
He's gone. So
we should be so lucky, right?
I'm going to point out that those soldiers or the troops in the video there in the overwhites behind him were Marines, because that was Marpat Arctic that only Marines wear. So just throwing that out there.
it's more of that fashion drip. Man, it keeps on coming, Joe.
I know it's
Hey, I'm just throwing it out there.
It's
Just
just
throwing
the
it out.
thing. It's the thing.
so it's not just daycare centers. Let's see. New scam has been uncovered in Minnesota. Regular homes are being registered as assisted living facilities. In Minnesota, assisted living facilities have seen 2 times the growth over other programs. They're receiving 15x the payments of other programs. Shell companies used to create some of the facilities. They account for new locations have exploded in Minnesota cities, many owned by known money laundering scammers. You know, the other thing too, Joe, you saw the vote rigging stuff. If you are a facility, like if you're a Somali citizen, you can vouch for like up to 8 other people to, hey, yes, this guy is who he says he is. And so he should be able to vote. But if you are a staff member at an assisted living facility, you can vouch for basically an unlimited number of people, because the only one may be able to come with them to the voting place to be able to vote. I mean, so this goes beyond just money. It goes to voting, and the kind of this is less about money and more about power, and it's literally through this method that I think we're going to find that the Democrats have power in significant parts of the country, not through any kind of legal democracy or democratic action, but through sheer fraud power.
I mean, when they went through there and you took a look at a bunch of the voting laws, people have been talking about Minnesota's for a minute because of what's been going on, where you can vouch for up to 8 people. But it's no different in Michigan or some of the other states where they said, all right, illegals can get a driver's license. Well, because of the motor voter law, everyone who gets a driver's license gets registered to vote. So there are those unused voter records that could be used to rig elections. And guess what? They have. And at this point, to have faith in elections is a bit naive, because the evidence is out there that they will manipulate them however they want to. So I guess if you're paying attention, you know that your vote doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I think it's possible that they did let Donald Trump win just to set up the conditions for what they're doing now.
Well, yeah, that's a great point. I mean, like maybe their margins are not as overwhelming as we think. Maybe a guy like Donald Trump is able to maybe overcome some of these manufactured, corruption schemes. But on the other hand, maybe you're right, Joe. I mean, like this, he Well, we need if Donald Trump's going to do so much damage to his own side that it's literally going to guarantee us the power when we've lived through his and we'll impeach him anyway.
Hitler, but it's really hard to call him Hitler when he's not in power.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Watcher. What's your kind of take on a lot of this fraud stuff? I mean, because it's getting so overwhelming. Like, so my daughter told me on Instagram, she said like every second video now all of a sudden is about this fraud stuff. A lot of it's humorous, and things like this, but it's the fact that it's a thing. Like, like my daughters knew about it without me telling them about it.
I think that it's well observed that this is going to be too big to bury, which is, look, that's why everybody was commenting for the first 3 days. Why is no mainstream media outlet talking about this? Well, because the left haven't heard about it. And the mainstream media only has to play defense if the left hears about it. If the left doesn't hear about it, then they can just go on and bury it, right? Like it has been well said in the past that the job of a journalist is to cover important news stories with a pillow until it stops moving. But it's obviously broken containment, right? And so now we have them doing a rush job of getting out on the streets and trying to say that he went after hours, even though literally he's standing in front of the sign as he says that he went after hours that says that the hours are from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day. All kinds of just unbelievable, wild, crazy, quick shit that, remember, it looks wild and crazy on our side because it's not for you, dummy. It's for the leftists. And they are not going to look any deeper. They're not going to pay attention to the background of that video. They're not going to pay attention to anything. All they need is for their priest class to turn to them and say, it's not real. I think it's also well observed, though. Well, hold on. This is important because it's well observed. Other people have made this observation. They have moved systemically now, not just individually. As a whole, they've now moved. They've added a new phase to the "it's not happening, okay, it's happening, but it's a good thing" cycle, which is maybe we can just kill the people that are noticing.
We are missing the actual ball drop right now.
Oh,
I wouldn't say we're missing it, Jim.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm missing it, Bob. But for the record, Happy New Year for all of you on the East Coast.
Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
And if you guys are in the chat for the ball drop, we appreciate it.
You have to understand that right now I'm hearing you on a delay because of this clear bottle.
It's a liquid. There's a fog in between.
Yeah, No, it's actually not bad, and I'm going very slow with it. So, I imagine I wouldn't go anywhere for New Year's Eve. I haven't in a long time. I think the last time I went anywhere for New Year's Eve was 1999 because we all thought it was going to end anyway. So, might as well go out with a bang. So
Joe, here's
went and bought ammo.
I'm sorry.
No, 1999. I went and bought ammunition.
Yeah, right.
All right, enough of this, Watcher. Let's talk about fun stuff. Joe, what do you think about this, right? Home-built 3D printed suppressors have come a long way and are now viable for personal use. They do not last as long as commercial metal suppressors, with an average lifespan appearing around 1,000 rounds. But they make up for the cost a fraction of the price. I thought this was pretty interesting.
Hold on, fraction of the price is not generous enough. I make these for my air rifles because it's not technically a suppressor and I don't need a tax stamp for it to do it for the air rifles. And you're talking like maybe $3.50. Also, I should add that this one's fully 3D printed, but most of the really nice ones that I've seen, actually, you get an outer jacket and then you just 3D print the internal baffling, and then that's a replaceable item.
So this concept of short-lived consumable is very attractive to certain organizations. It is because the first 10 rounds have historically been the important ones.
But
again, everybody is moving away from CQB now, right? It's like It's become unsexy.
Well, here's the other thing too, right? If you can get one of these that lasts, let's say it only lasts 500 rounds, right? And it's 500 rounds of like 7.62 NATO, right? Especially if you're firing a single shot, through say a designated marksman rifle. I mean, it's almost like you can't afford not to have one. I mean, Joe, that nothing more frustrating than a sniper with a DMR at about 300 meters that you can't fucking hear, because at 300 meters all you're hearing is the crack, the
crack over your head, or you're not hearing anything. Wink, wink.
Wink, right? Yeah.
Splat, the wet splat as it hits your friend's head. Yeah, that would be tough. That would be tough.
I'm sorry, gents. It's too beautiful. It's a sign of our times. Apparently, we would have missed the ball drop anyways, because YouTube live cut in an ad 3 seconds to midnight.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Hey guys,
you sell mag light tube, and you're in business. We didn't say that. We just were reading a chat for the YouTube censors. We didn't tell anyone how to make a silencer.
No, that was an air gun baffle.
Yeah. One of my favorite stories, one of my favorite things of the last 2 years was my friend Albert. He's like the absent-minded professor, smart guy. He's a doctor. We were at a gun show, me and him and my friend Mike, and we're walking along, and there's a table full of those, solvent traps made from oil filters. And he's like, explain to me how this works. And he's engaged with the guy. And Mike goes, one of us has to go back there. So I go back to him, like, Al, come check this thing out. I pull him aside. I'm like, dude, that's totally the ATF trying to get you to buy one. Don't buy one. And he was like, how do you know the science? I'm like, stop talking to that guy right now.
Here's the gift that's going to keep on giving throughout the year. Remember how we were saying, like, yeah, this guy Mondami shouldn't be mayor. But then, like I personally said, you know what, they should absolutely make him mayor, because then he will show them exactly because this guy is too naive and too stupid not to actually, because if he slow rolled it, he could actually generate support when he did something actually egregious, then people would be willing to kind of bend over backwards for him. But with this COPA thing he has announced and they passed in New York, and then you've got this thing right here. Zoran Mondami stuns New York, putting Ramzi Qasim, that is a name that I recognized when I heard it, a 9/11 Al-Qaeda defense lawyer, in charge as chief counsel. Question to the audience. New York, what have you done?
Somebody told me, he goes, no, but listen, John Adams gave a defense to the British troops charged with the Boston Massacre, and giving a good defense to the worst people is American. I'm like, But Ramzi moved to America for the purpose of defending them. He was not an American when this happened. Nah, man. Nah, this is not cool.
Yeah, it is not. It is absolutely. It's beyond the pale. But ultimately, it will show you exactly what you're going to get.
Yeah. And more importantly, when people tell you who they are, pay attention.
Believe them.
Gents, I have a New Year's Eve, a rather unique New Year's Eve party to take you to for just a moment. Happy New Year's from the Quality Leering Center.
I'm just here to wish everybody a happy New Year from the Quality Leering Center.
Leering Center.
I'm saying anything to everybody.
Trespassing, sir.
Huh?
You're
trespassing in my country.
Live,
You're trespassing in my country.
Yes, I am. I'm living well. Sidewalk. What are you talking about?
You're on our parcel.
Okay. What time do you close?
No,
My business.
My business.
New Year anyway.
New
Take
Lear.
care. Enjoy. Probably won't be a great one for you, though. I'll be honest with you.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
No, they had the law students. They had the law students at the door. It's like, yeah, they're headed to law school. Let's put them out there with the cameras. Yeah. There's going to be global outrage about the way the U.S. handles this unwrapping of 20 or 30 million illegal migrants, when in fact most of the world is unwrapping illegal migrants right now, and nobody's complaining.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the headline from the New York Post that said, after internet outrage, the Leering Center changed their name to Learning? Yeah, because our outrage was about the misspelling, right?
Yeah, no. I saw your post on it, and I laughed quite a bit about that post because it's so true. They take a detail that's irrelevant. The relevant detail is we've got 20 or 30 million people who were brought here for the purpose of undermining the stability of our society. It's really clear now. And we financed it by doing illegal things. And it is a coordinated multi-state things, and it is in the blue states, and it's in the blue cities, and it's all the people who are the leaders of the left. And we just have to come to grips with it. And it isn't I wouldn't describe it as a political decision. It's a legal decision. They violated the law in a very, very damaging way on a very broad scale across their areas of power. This is Tammany Hall on steroids.
Oh, yeah.
And so we've got to unwrap these machines in these various blue cities. And I really hope that DOJ and that the Trump administration have this in hand. Because that's their job, right? And, it isn't about the Kennedy Center, the Trump Kennedy Center. It isn't about little things. It's about they fundamentally screwed everything up consequentially to have voters in the major cities where they wanted to have control. And that's why Biden won. That's how they pulled that off.
Right.
Oh, shoot.
I mean,
we've got our first, gents, we have our first report of a negative event tonight.
What's that?
Okay.
There's a church burning.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. They're burning churches in Europe.
Oh, they're going to say that it was an accident.
Watcher, look at what I'm sharing on my screen. By the way, I've been sharing it for the last couple minutes.
Oh.
You
guys have to forgive me because I'm drinking from this bottle. But here's our brush beater ad for tonight. You can buy this cup right now over at brushbeater.store for $35. Well, not this one because I'm using it. But this is actually the second one that came out. Matt has the first. I have the second. And then Be Prepared might have the third. But you can get these cups there, and they're available right now. So $35. Oh, there's one right there. Oh, that might be the third. Because you were there that night. Never mind. I think that's the third.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
now, if only they were numbered on the bottom, that would have been cool.
I think I was asleep in the woods.
I don't think you were asleep in the woods.
That was before you went to sleep in the woods. You were still pounding back the clear bottle that night. I'm going to tell you all that Old Hong Kong is a champ. Although I think you tricked a certain very large Marine, not this one, the even larger Marine, into drinking more of it than you, although it looked like you drank most of it. So,
he was a really nice guy.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Kevin's a good man.
Can we get back to the fraud stuff for a second? Joe, you shared something that I thought this was good. I mean, because I found it earlier, and so you also shared it. So simultaneously, we both kind of brought this one. But I want to bring it out because it's great. This is a two-parter, right? So let me play the first part here. Share screen. First, we have this one. Freudian slip heard around Minnesota.
Yeah. That was great. Got to play the audio because it's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100% we're playing the audio on this one. All right. Give this one a whirl.
Hair is cut. I'm unable to work or go to school. I understand. Fraud is bad.
Someone needs to find out who those two women directly behind her are, what organization they work for.
Well, because no, that chick's directly behind her makes one of her own.
Yeah.
Which is even worse. So here's the thing. In my line of work, as a certified forensic interviewer and a certified fraud examiner, that's called an admission of guilt. First of all, let me point something out before we play this one.
Yeah.
If she can't work and she can't go to school, why does she need daycare? She doesn't. And that's where the fraud thing comes in. This one is even better. She loses it when she makes an admission here.
And I do see some signs over here that say stop fraud, and I agree, stop it. There are wait lists for these programs that are years long. There is fraud.
There's fraud.
And I do see.
Somebody said fraud in the White House.
Yeah, she didn't mean to say there is fraud, but she sure did. But I want to know who pays that woman's salary. She's paid to be there, and I want to know who paid for it. So.
Yeah. I will say, following the money is absolutely the way to go on this, because large amounts of money, like what we're talking about, it just doesn't disappear. Did you guys hear the story about the TSA guy who said that there's a Somali who basically goes every week flying cash out, and basically he's got a certified courier kind of some, that's what
this is going to seem really bad, but I'm going to keep it real with you, Scott. If I try to put $2,000 cash in my suitcase, they're going to take it from me. They didn't take it from him, but they would take it from me.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
Hey, wait, speaking of Mr. Jacob Fry, you guys all saw somebody tied this together beautifully. You guys all saw that the guy who was out in front of the Quality Leering Center telling us, no, you're all just racist. You guys came after it was open. We were closed and we're open now. Why aren't you here now? All that kind of shit. That guy was literally in the background dancing right behind Jacob Fry on his election night.
And he was he was standing behind the other guy today when the guy announced that their daycare had been broken into. He's in that video too.
Yeah. So I've got.
He's obviously it's obviously the mayor's Somali handler. Why is nobody saying anything about this?
Well, let's be honest about this too. Somalis did not come up with this scheme of the century on their own. The NGOs who put them in power explained it to them and set it up for them with the express condition that donations came back to the NGOs and donations go to certain other campaigns. And that's what happened.
So I think this is one of the guys you're talking about. This is that press conference where they were saying they were. This is the press conference where they said the place got broken into.
Yeah. Could he not dress like a gangster for this press conference?
Well, right. So look at this. A manager at Nokomis Daycare Center, a Somali daycare center in Minneapolis that was mysteriously broken into, had employee and client documents stolen, appears to be wearing $2,400 designer sunglasses at the press conference.
Oh, designer is a funny way to put that. Hey, Joe, who are the really only group of people who know about and revere the brand Chrome Hearts?
Well, yes, that's a very good point. I'm going to let you talk about that, though.
We'll just say certain urban subcultures are very into Chrome Hearts, and no one else gives two shits.
And subculture that is heavily involved in fraudulent activity. So, wait till you hear about an eyes, glass, and belt show. It's where a guy comes out wearing just eyewear and a belt. So it's really not something you want to see.
All right. Anyway, so so there's a lot more to that. I mean, so as we're going to find out more about the broad macro fraud problem in America and just this kind of consistent corruption. And I think, one of the things that I posted about, it's kind of like the big lie theory in propaganda, right? If you say something that's so colossal, so outrageous, then it's like, well, he's got to be telling the truth because nobody would make that up, right?
Scott just saw what I saw. I have to do it, Scott. I'm sorry, it's too good. All right. So, never mind. You didn't. Oh, guys,
No,
this is too good.
Oh,
So
here's
this is
the
funny.
comment.
This is funny on its own. This is funny on its own, right? He posted this. It's great. I will fight to the last drop of blood to ensure that America remains the land of freedom and opportunity. Love it. Love it. But then somebody uses this new Grok feature where Grok will edit any photo you want and did the classic thing everybody's been asking. Grok, put a bikini on him. Never deleting this app.
Yeah, it's fun. But no, I was laughing at Joe at the look on Joe's face as he. I mean, I feel you, brother. As somebody who
You would
drank
think it would get
Everclear
better
back
as
in
you
the day.
go, but it does not. And listen, I set
It
that price
doesn't.
way too low. Way too.
You're definitely killing cells in your body, like all the way down and then all the way up. So I mean,
It's not too late for a price adjustment. I'm just saying.
Well, no, it's time now for a fundraiser for liver surgery.
I would maybe Joe get some
just kidding.
fruit juice, get some fruit juice, cut it, turn it into hooch, and then enjoy it for the rest of the evening.
That reminds me, when we said eat the pineapple, we were half joking, but Amphibious Pirate was like, okay.
Yeah. Did you see that guy? Oh my.
And then he was like, that was a terrible idea. I'm like, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was like, dude. Oh boy. Good news. We have frozen childcare, but
Nationwide.
Yep. So this is interesting. Here's the thing, Joe. We were very cynical at the beginning of the week on this, right? And yes, I have not seen any arrests yet. That being said, considering the investigation, while there may be some small investigations going on, I mean, clearly, like Trump didn't know about this shit until the Nick Shirley thing, probably.
Right.
Yeah.
And so when Trump's like, "What? There's what? 9 million? What?" It's like, and then he starts looking at Kash Patel and Pam Bondi. They are actually they're going to have to actually produce something that actually, don't you think?
No, I don't. I think they're going to do the same thing they always do. They're going to talk about a whole bunch of things. They're going to trot out one or two cases, but you're never going to hear an outcome. You're going to see a couple of arrests. You're not going to hear the outcome. You're not going to hear, like has happened in several of these fraud cases already, that the case goes to court. It's heard by a jury. Jury says, yeah, that's fraud, and convicts. And then the judge says, I'm setting aside the conviction due to restorative justice. And they let him go, dismiss the charges. So you might see some arrests, but you won't see any actual convictions.
Okay. This is too cool, guys. You guys ever seen this? This is projection mapping. They're doing this with lasers onto the obelisk, and that's just cool.
Yeah, that's a really cool effect. Jim, are you as cynical about this whole thing as our buddy is now? Joe, I think you're right to be cynical, if I'm honest, based on what we've seen out of the administration thus far, at least the DOJ. But that predates Pam Bondi's involvement. That goes back into history.
But putting your faith in Pam Bondi is absolutely the worst thing to do.
Yeah, I have no faith in her. Jim, what's your take?
Yeah, I don't think that the Washington, D.C. legal guild can police itself. I just don't think they have the capacity to do it. They've lost it. I think there's a mutual fear problem among the lawyers, and they're not willing to prosecute their own. And somehow that has to be broken. They've got to bring in some non-lawyers to run the shop, to actually allocate reasonable decisions in DOJ. I don't think it's happening. I think that'll begin to happen in January, though. I think you'll see an acceleration. I remain hopeful, which drives Joe crazy. But, it's the only government we have. And, this is where you kick Watcher off on his rants. But it is the only government we have. And so operating without it is difficult. But it's clear that they've been asleep at the wheel for 30 years. And that's sad. They've been lining their own pockets. And this is where we get back to this systemic graft. We saw it in USAID, and we've seen it in the domestic nonprofits in the blue cities that have been feeding off of what we're seeing in Minneapolis and the other major blue cities. This is not going to end well. The problem is it's a mutually assured destruction problem for the legal guild. They've known it. Their partners have done it, and they're all intertwined. These are their clients, these NGOs, these consultants. So it's going to be really hard to unwrap the DC side of what we're seeing unwrap in Minnesota and the other blue cities. It's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the thing that makes me cynical about the whole thing is just the massive scale of it, and it's just one of those kind of things. I think you're onto something. The lawyers, I think it takes lawyers to create this kind of a massive problem in the first place. So what, you're going to rely on other lawyers to go after the other lawyers? And so, no, the answer is no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, there's a codependency cycle in the various bars. What I think needs to happen is I think the Trump government needs to bring in the junkyard dog lawyers, the 60 to 80-year-old guys and girls who've been doing this for a long time, who've retired, but still believe in the law.
Yeah,
To come in and take these cases, because this is a 3 to 5 year case structure that's going to take somebody who really doesn't give a shit about their personal brand, right? And what's really made DC toxic is all the people just driving their personal brand. We need some independent people who are very good, patriotic folks to take on these really complex, large case study things that'll have to occur in these prosecutions. And it's going to go longer than the Trump presidency to clean it up. And that's the hard part.
Yeah.
So that's where my hope begins to wane, Joe.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's almost kind of like getting dropped off in the middle of the ocean. You want to be like, I can get, if I got put in the water on my own, I'd be able to survive and swim and find it. But ultimately, when you're put in the middle of the fucking Pacific Ocean by yourself, there's only so much you can do. And I get the feeling like the level of this fraud, right? Just $9 billion just alone in Minnesota. So if it's Minnesota, what's going on in all 50 states, and that's just a certain type of fraud. That doesn't include like the voter fraud and the various different industries that have gotten money through the federal government. If you ever wondered, yeah,
exactly. Somebody took the bags of money out of the wall.
We call them skinnies for a reason.
Keep your records in the wall. You're doing something wrong.
Somebody broke in and happened to know exactly where our stash is without ever breaking any other part of the wall except for exactly where you would have to break it if you knew exactly where it was.
It's almost like they had something hidden there where like the best way for us to get it out is to pretend like somebody was.
Yeah, because they were worried somebody would show up with a search warrant later in the day. So we needed an excuse for there to be holes in the wall.
What's going to be interesting to see is how much of this money went in suitcases under the guise of it's an NGO transfer to a developing country that's described by USAID as needing aid, and it was taken as cash because there was no active banking system. So read Somalia, South Sudan, just go down the list. I'm going to bet these guys had permits to carry cash. Kind of like when Obama sent the pallets of money to the Iranians. Sometimes it's just easier to move cash. Wouldn't shock me at all if the NGOs hadn't created structures by which those suitcases of cash could leave the country.
Well, the irony of everybody claiming that Bitcoin was perfect for criminals laundering their money. Actually, no, US dollars is the best way to launder money in the world. I mean, it literally, once it goes in a bag and disappears, it's gone. And you'd have no idea where that money is coming back. Because let's be honest, nobody tracks serial numbers.
So,
and financial institutions do, but that's only through their automated money counters.
Yeah, there was a time during which there were some small amount of people who were trying to do all kinds of criminal transactions through it. But the funny thing about that was, even at the time, if you charted where are all criminal transactions happening by volume, USD was 99.9997%, somewhere in that ballpark.
And that's just because some weirdo likes euros, some Japanese gangster.
Well, no, that was including like all the Bitcoin and all the Monero and all like everybody.
So we saw the burning. Now this is in Belgium, I believe. Let me go back to this. This is in Holland too. Youth gangs are attacking the Dutch police with fireworks tonight. What's that?
I wonder what kind of youth gangs.
It's many
Aloha snack bar type.
What language did they speak first? I bet it was not Dutch.
Hell, they probably barely speak Dutch now.
Well, the other part of that, the thing about the cut, Patrick, is that they cut right next to an outlet and didn't cut the wire. It's because they knew where the wire was.
Yeah.
Zoom in on the picture of the hole. The hole was cut from the inside. No way it could be cut through cinder blocks from the outside. Yeah.
So it looked to me like the cinder blocks weren't cut. It looked to me like the cinder blocks were not part of the wall. They were placed inside the wall later, so that you could place, let's just say, paper documents or things inside of them and then cap them off so that rodents can't nest in them. A pretty classic thing done in the third world.
Well, it's not just in the third world. That's a fairly common thing with people in businesses where you make a lot of cash that is unreported. We'll just call it that. Drug dealers do the same thing. So everyone saw Bad Boys 2. They all worry about their money getting eaten by rats.
Scott, that's hilarious.
I don't even know what we're watching right now.
They're birds. That's a Japanese person who made little paper swords for his birds so they look like Naruto ninjas. It's friggin' hilarious.
Those are chimkins.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Those are samurai chimkins.
I love it. Hey, 45 months. Holy cow.
Yeah.
It's a long time, brother. We appreciate you. Adrian Hansen, or it could be girl. I don't know. Who knows? Remember, for 45 months, at least I returned from a long, at last I returned from a long absence. Just never able to catch the live show for a couple years. Love you guys. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's.
We're going to have to put him out because of the Colorado Avalanche logo.
I got a good buddy at work who is like, you wouldn't believe it. We had the when the Avalanche won the NHL last. No, was it the NHL? Did they win the Stanley Cup?
A couple years, but yeah.
Anyway, we were watching them in the playoffs on the big screen in the big room with the the 2-story television screen.
Fine use of government assets, I might add.
I mean, nothing else going on in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Did we lose Jim?
Yeah,
I was just saying watching the Avalanche is just Osin.
Oh. I thought you said listen.
It's
like you were about to
Red
set up
Wings
to say
nothing, my friends. Red Wings are nothing.
You guys want to move on and talk about Iran? I mean, because half of my feed is Iran, if I'm honest.
And
so it looks like I don't know what to say. It appears that the regime is in some kind of trouble because they finally decided that it's bad enough they need to shut off the internet. And it does look like that some internet is still getting out via Starlink, which is mostly what we're seeing. But I'm also seeing a lot of videos that are just flat out protesters getting massacred.
So I've been liking these videos a lot lately. Let me see.
I pointed out the last time this happened, and they started using live fire. That's what totalitarian regimes do. Iran has been known throughout history when things get really rough to just kill large numbers of people to convince everyone else to go home. The only time it's gone wrong in recent memory was Ceausescu. Right?
Yeah, Ceausescu. I mean, so it's not like this can't work. It can work. But a lot of people are going to get killed because the IRGC, like Jim said before the show started, they've got nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Afghanistan, maybe, because at least they speak the language there.
This is the citizens taking control of the IRGC base in Asadabad.
Here we go.
Taking control or burning it down?
Share my screen.
Burning it down looks more likely.
So they were throwing rocks at the police. You know, they've knocked over these barriers.
Well, here's the difference, though. The police and the IRGC are not the same thing, right?
That's true. That's 100% true. But so here's the people. Basically, the people are like, "All right, you're not setting these back up. We put those in the fucking middle of the road for a reason."
Whoa. Here's the problem too, in totalitarian regimes. The police never imagined that the citizens would knock those over and keep walking. That's why they're minor little barriers, right? They're used to the people being deathly afraid of them.
Oh, yeah, so now they're attacking the police.
Once the people stop being afraid of them, this happens. And the cops are like, "Hey, we've never had this happen before. We got to go." Right?
Yeah. And let's be honest. If there's only 20 of you and there's like 300 of the other people, then yeah, that's fucking scary, man.
I think that bus pulled up. Oh, you'd think they'd have jumped on the bus.
I have a picture that I think is relevant to this discussion, gents. What do you think?
Reza. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. This is him. This is his group. They have a plan. This is underway. Not sure it can be done. It's been a long diaspora, and it's really, really hard to go back after.
I tell you, I think the U.S. is going to have to directly support because this kind of popular uprising is what happens first. Then the next step is the violent suppression, and very quickly after violent suppression, because some of the people who are in part of the popular uprising will basically go to ground and be like, "Fuck this, I'm out." But a significant percentage will say, "Fuck you, I'll fight," but they don't have anything to fight with unless they, seize weapons or unless you have military units come over to them or things like this. I think this is where the Obama administration had an opportunity to actually, materially support the uprising that occurred during his administration, but he basically just let them rot.
Yeah, you don't. If you don't have money flowing to the colonels,
yeah,
in the various entities to begin to fragment the various entities, IRGC, Basij, Army, police, it'll never happen because you got to pay the next set of winners, right? And so we're at the point where that either is in place or it's not. I don't know. I think Reza is a very nice guy, but this is a super hard ask, really hard ask. And I'm not sure that the Iranian people want an outsider, and he's now an outsider, right? He's the heir apparent to the throne, but do they necessarily want a monarch? This is a hard transition. I wish him luck. I mean, I like the Iranians.
I think based on the Iranians' background, I really think that they could make a go at something along the lines of a constitutional monarchy. Especially if he doesn't try to push any kind of like, hey, I want an active role in the government. Like, hey, I'll handle ceremonies and things like that, and you handle,
I think
keeping the trains run on time.
I think I just spotted a new clip that's going in the new intro. This is the governor's mansion.
the government? Oh, in does it say what city?
Fossa.
So the difficulty in Iran is you've got all these minorities, right? You got the Kurds, the Baluchis, you've got the Azeris. It isn't monolithically Persian. And the Basij and those other groups, the Twelvers, the folks at Qom, are not tribally similar to everybody. And they control by force. So
yeah.
You've got to be able to get some of the minorities on side. And I know the Baluchis and the Kurds are on side. It just comes down to whether you can get the other folks on side and you get control of the major cities. So let's see how the major cities go.
That's another. So when we were talking about material support earlier, like the Trump administration or other world governments ready to materially support, we don't mean like dropping tanks or things like that. We mean bags of money. The tanks are already there. The guns are already in Iran. What you need to do is, like you kind of mentioned, you go to the colonels, right? Those kind of people in the upper middle management, right? And you pay off those guys. You get them in your pocket, and then all of a sudden you've got large numbers of fighting men who are ready to, ostensibly support the revolutionaries. Now, there are other networks of coercion, right? So Iran has been very vocal supporters of Armenia. So what that means is Azerbaijan would love to see bad things happen to the Iranian government. And so that gives them an opportunity to potentially cause trouble. And then you've got the Kurdish. If you don't think the Kurds in Iraq are kind of looking at this as an opportunity to kind of increase their footprint of control inside the Kurdish-dominated regions of northwestern Iran, you're fooling yourself.
And you've had a lot going on with the Israelis. You've had Trump and Bibi talking. Yep. This was definitely part of the conversation between Trump and Bibi. You've had the Saudis bombing Yemen because of the UAE-backed forces that were being reinforced with new vehicles and armored vehicles. So it's all interconnected, and this all has to do with Iran trying to restructure a lot of its programs and not capitulating. So there is subterfuge afoot, not necessarily subterfuge, not necessarily negative if it goes your way, but there's something underway here. So let's hope it works out. I'm always hoping.
This is protesters storming a security forces headquarters in Hamdan. I mean, you've got the kind of people in the streets with pitchforks and torches, but you also have the young women doing public gymnastics, right? Like there are some deep cultural
that will get you arrested in Iran. Yes,
and taking the head covering off, things like that, right? So there are a lot of. By the way, there are a lot of angles to this.
Afghan story I've ever heard in the Rumble chat. A little bit.
What's it?
What about from Herat to Farah? Read that one.
By the way, we got Juan Gringo.
This is the Herat problem, right? Yeah. Hamadan is over towards the Iraqi border. It's right on the corner of the Kurdish territories. So the Iranians have a problem with their Arab and Kurdish minority. And you're beginning to see where the influence can be leveraged, and that'll always heat up there.
Juan Gringo for $2 says, until locals stop waiting on the FedGov and start finding ways to handle these problems themselves, nothing will happen. FedGov will start taking meaningful action once they've embarrassed it.
Listen, if anyone knows about this, it's Juan Gringo. For those who were here last July, he gave quite a speech on what he and his people did locally when the Border Patrol failed to act. So he knows what he's talking about. But
well, not to. Oh, kind of just a little bit counter messaging. I just got this. Just came across my timeline. Apparently, Trump is yelling about Somalis at his New Year's Eve event. So we have a 30-second clip here.
Take back our country. Can you imagine? They stole $18 billion. That's just what we're learning about.
I thought it was 8 billion or 18 billion.
It keeps expanding because they keep finding new areas of
more.
scam. Like at first, it was just daycares and medical and the medical transport thing, and then people were like, "Well, wait." So it turns out it's the autism thing too, and then it turns out it's also the Medicare scamming. Like
Illinois is worse, and sadly, New York is worse. A lot of other places. So we're going to get to the bottom of all of it. It was a giant scam. Other than that, we're going to have a great New Year.
See, he's hopeful.
I view that as a reason for a good year because we're going to get to the bottom, but we're going to get that money back. It's all coming back. So I want to just do.
not to counter signal you there, Chief, but that money's gone. There's not money to get back. What are we going to go seize it from private bank accounts in Somalia?
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't try some extraordinary methods to try to get it back. Listen to this right here. So this is a CNN bloviator going on about Nick Shirley.
Who is he? Like who gave this guy license to go around and say I couldn't get into daycare centers? The doors were locked. Like nobody should be able to walk into a daycare center because the doors are locked. These random vigilante justice seekers who were
i.e. reporters, or at least
how is that vigilante justice?
I know that's
bad that they've been exposed.
Right. Operation Kill the Messenger is going exactly as planned.
Law enforcement expert, like he's a random YouTuber. And I just find it laughable that the party of the self-proclaimed pro-life people are celebrating cutting off funding to children. White evangelical crowd who purports to uphold these Christian values.
Does this garbage brain flip even work on her own side anymore?
Because of their ethnicity
It's not a
and
Christian
cutting
value.
off care to children.
well. The
That's
irony
all she's got.
Well, so the irony is like she would say this to his face, and he would say, "I'm a journalist," and she goes, "Well, where did you go to journalism school?" Well, doesn't matter. I mean, that's literally all they have, right? If you didn't go to J school, then you can't be.
By the way, this is the United States of MFing America. I don't need a license to do things. I can just do things.
I can ask questions because
Yeah, there's no license required to be a journalist. Where's her license?
See, this is the thing that has the world completely messed up with the United States is that individual liberty button.
Yeah.
Nobody on the planet has that enumerated the way we do. And it drives the world crazy, but they all desire it. They desire it for themselves, but they don't desire it for their societies because it creates a really interesting competitive dynamic. If anybody go out and actually opine, you're seeing it in the UK, you're seeing it in Europe now. They cannot tolerate it because it undermines their system.
Here's another one. This HUD just found $5 billion plus of fraudulent payments in 2024 alone under Biden. Payment error of over 11%. Let's see, 5.2 billion to inactive accounts, 77 million to deceased tenants, 150 million to non-existent Social Security numbers, 288 million to excessively high rents. No wonder everybody was scared shitless of Doge and wanted him out of the way.
You know, one of the other problems I had with that whole Nick Shirley exposing it was the police officers who said, "Do you have any other business in this building?" My dear friends, I'm an American citizen. I don't have to explain my travels to you. Now, I get it. They can say he was trespassing, but it's a building of public accommodation with multiple businesses in it.
Yep.
And I shouldn't have to explain what business I'm going to if I don't want to.
And they have to tell him, they have to tell him he's trespassing.
Correct.
If it's a public building and you walk in,
right?
Yeah, you're allowed to come into these buildings. They have to tell you to leave. Then you can leave.
So very, very crazy, very upside down world. We have to explain our travels. So
I guess the CIA wasn't happy that Donald Trump claimed responsibility for that strike in Venezuela. CIA was upset by Donald Trump's decision to claim responsibility for a covert drone strike earlier this month against a facility in Venezuela linked to drug trafficking, an operation normally intended to be secret or at least have no obvious links to the United States. Current and former officials told the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, no. Your drug factory totally just blew up right when we happened to have parked a quarter of our naval assets off your coast.
Yeah,
totally
there was near universal dismay amongst former intelligence officials.
Oh, the same former ones who said Donald Trump was a Russian spy. Yeah,
exactly right. 42 former intelligence, senior officials have said that they're dismayed by this decision. Well, shocking. Let's see. And that was a former senior operations officer from the CIA. So it's a former Biden/Obama guy. So that means that Trump did the right thing. It's like when they come out against him, it's like, oh, okay, well, that's a good thing then. I mean, it's like, a lot of news about the metal stuff. I mean, so so if you want to know what normie like college kids and high school kids are hearing, this is the guy. This is your normie kind of whisperer, right?
Is it going to be Asmongold? Yeah, it's Asmongold. Yep, that's also my weather vane for exactly that.
You have to make the punishment infinitely worse than the crime. And I'm talking about deporting the entire family, denaturalizing the entire family, sending the entire group of them back to Somalia. That's what needs to happen. And anybody complicit and anybody involved in this scam. And until we have a candidate and a person that's willing to do that, then I'm not really interested in voting, if you want me to be honest. I'm really not interested in voting because why is it that I'm going to vote for a slow rot of my country whenever the solution is so obvious? You can't flip the switch. Yeah, you can. You can easily flip the switch. You just do it. If J.D. Vance does not push for...
Yeah. All of the outrage you keep seeing from senators and representatives and all of that is because you found out. They already knew about it because they all see where their donations come from. And you will be shocked, I tell you, to see the number of Act Blue donations that came from these daycare centers and the ones that are also in Washington State and all over the country that end up going exclusively to Democrat and even a few Republican, but almost exclusively Democrat candidates going into their campaign funds.
Yeah, and this will lead into the smurfing investigations for all of the senators who were elected last cycle. There's tens of millions of dollars that was smurfed from international money into these senatorial campaigns, and they already know it. There's just been no stomach to prosecute it.
Well, Jim, I think that all this kind of scam money that's going around through the through these daycare centers and all that kind of stuff. This actually makes sense as to why you need all these low, like thousands of $25 donations to Act Blue.
That's exactly what's going on. Yeah,
that's people who
what they're digging into.
Yeah, from people who have no idea. Like I've never donated to Act Blue. It says right here that you've donated between like $100 and $25. 73 times last year. I've never sent them any money,
Right.
And so it's like people are like, oh, where's this money coming from? Well, we thought it was coming from overseas. I'll be honest with you. I think it's the party's cut of this Somali money.
It's the kickbacks.
Yeah, 100%. It's the kickbacks.
Yeah, it's the kickbacks for the scams, and it runs through NGOs and consultancy organizations, and the problem is they're all. This goes back to the Lawyers Guild. Will the Lawyers Guild allow the prosecutions to occur? I remain hopeful.
Well, one of the things that the reason that I use Asmongold is a pretty good barometer of what the normie's thinking. Is he's actually he's left. You might not believe it because he's based as hell in this clip, but the guy's actually pretty little further left than center left. Like he's not.
I would go so far as to say in the modern paradigm, he's moderate right. Because I've listened to his opinions.
He calls
because my
for some
daughter,
pretty explicitly socialistic programs.
I got it. There, it's like he's like Tim Pool, right?
Yeah, and Tim Pool is left of center.
This guy. Just looking at this guy, his beard is so well kept.
It's funny you would say that because he's
definitely leftist, dude.
Yeah,
he's known as the Roach King, and that is because for a number of years he was in a kind of a staggering, terrible depression, and let's just say that had some frequent non-pet animal people, things appear in his stream. He's cleaned his life up pretty significantly recently. His dad died, and that kind of made him snap out of a bunch of shit. But yeah,
he's definitely going to a professional beard trimming experience with oil. So
I think I guess he recently started dating and broadcasting his dates on his streams.
Oh, that'd be that's legitimately good. That guy needs to get married, have some babies. No, and look, it's not even for him. He's a pretty big influencer, and I'm telling you, it's one of those things where I'm like, people need to get married. They need to have as many American babies as possible. Get pumping them out, which means as many of these social media influencers as are out there, get married. It's your duty. Broadcast.
I mean, influence regular people to actually do the same thing. That's
exactly.
Yeah, Pinochet's helicopters. Asmongold is economically liberal, socially conservative, which is kind of funny because a lot of people are economically conservative but socially liberal. So, yeah,
that's a lie. I'm just gonna.
That's a lie. How do you really feel, Joe?
I used to, so when I got a degree in art, right? So I hang around with a lot of art people. I remember getting into a fucking screaming match with one of my art professors when I said that they should abolish the NEA. And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? The NEA? It's literally the biggest waste of taxpayers' money ever." And this was back because of Piss Christ. That's how everybody knew about NEA back then, back in the early 90s, when all that stupid fucking modern art started getting, it was getting put in places that the NEA was running. And so yeah, it's
no. You can call Scott gay for having an art degree. He was very smart because guess who else takes an art degree? Yeah,
I was just gonna say
girls do. Those girls,
right? I was out of control in college.
Scott was very smart to take the art degree.
Though I did meet my first homosexual and he was a nice guy. Good artist, really good artist.
You didn't date for long. It was good.
Smooth.
It was a short well done. Him and Scott.
Yeah, he stayed on his side of the classroom. I stayed on my side of the classroom.
No, Scott's a successful artist. Come on.
Scott's a very successful artist. Have you not heard of Doorkickers?
Heard of War?
I was going to say, you know what? You guys are all talking about his personal passion projects, not even his professional.
Flash some work. Work, man.
Are you not aware that Scott is probably one of the world's most preeminent PowerPoint artists? It's
unbelievable. It's unbelievable is what it is. You wouldn't believe some of the things that I pulled off in PowerPoint.
The man can brief.
You know what? He's saying that as a joke, but I am legitimately serious. I have seen him pull off some things in PowerPoint that I was like, how does the software even do that?
It's not designed to do that. That's just it.
Failed Austrian painter. Okay.
Yeah, he's not a corporal or a failed Austrian painter.
It's okay.
And he's still got both his balls.
For $2, I salute you.
No, Scott's smarter than us and all that stuff, Patrick, because I remember a night in North Carolina when Scott was like, you know what? I am getting way too into this. I'm going to slow down. And me and old Hong Kong were like, nope, foot on the gas, foot on the gas.
I know. I was like, nothing good happens after midnight.
I think they destroyed a bottle of Diplomatica.
Then the funniest thing happened at about 2:30 in the morning. Mech Medic turns to Scott and goes, "Oh my God, you're Scott." Scott's like, "Yeah, man, I've been here for like 14 hours."
Yeah, that is not our first conversation at that point either, too. Like, it was like, all right. Here's some more Iranian angles. Very excited. And then everybody turns around. It's almost like when you hear the gunshots, it's like, whoa, I'm out.
Wow.
I hate
That
crowds.
one was harsh.
Same. I don't do.
I'll be honest with you, Joe. I haven't drank in. I haven't
Hey,
drank since
Texas.
you and I last hung out. That was the last time I drank.
Gents, we got 1 minute until the Midwest ball drop.
I know that's why.
Let's see how many people die from unintentional gunfire strikes in Chicago.
Yeah, so we're coming up on Chicago and Nashville and some other fairly normal cities.
Let's see what Nashville looks like. I like that.
St. Louis.
Oh yeah, St.
Where poor young Michael Brown was stricken down by the police with his hands in the air.
Hey, there it is.
All right.
Nashville did a music note. Where's the one that does the corn? That's the Corn Palace that drops the ear of corn, right?
Yeah, Corn Palace would be in. It'd be in.
Let's hear some of the audio. What do they got there? They got some music or?
Sure. Oh,
is it
you know
Old
what?
Lang Synes?
No audio. Got no audio.
For those of you who don't know, the Corn Palace is exactly what it sounds like.
Oh, I love the Corn Palace.
I don't know.
Tim Lee says, "Happy New Year's from Texas." It's our turn now. Thank you. Hey, is this are you an MSS agent? I'm getting a theme here. I'm just kidding. You're probably from one of the actual Chinese people versus the West Taiwanese.
Yeah, the West Taiwanese,
the breakaway provinces of West Taiwan.
So,
Jim, hey Jim, real quick. Hey, me and Joe, we like to make fun of these generally left-wing OSINT accounts, right? That are always kind of trying to spell out the tea leaves of what's going on in the world. But we were both kind of taken aback when we were looking at this OSINT account and some of the things that it said in response. And it basically showed our West Taiwan map and it was going totally based on China. We were like, wait a second, this guy's not supposed to be on our side.
Well, just somebody else is paying him.
That's right.
He's probably from South Asia, and
South Asia. Yeah.
The paymaster changed, right? So, yeah, there's so much noise out there, and it's funny. It's funny you mentioned that map. It comes down to the artwork. The artwork is more powerful than the placement.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, but that's why the memes and the artwork that pop up on X, it really is the powerful thing because it's that imagery that is captivating and it speaks to you and it gets reused. It's actually super durable as a message, my experience.
All right, so say what you will about China, you got to admit this is cool. And then I just see the weapon when I always see these, but
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Doesn't say where in China this was at.
Hey, finally one that's not AI. Oh no, wait, no, hold on.
This is China. This symbolizes China versus the aliens.
Huh.
What's that?
Oh, nothing. Just watching that. I've seen a ton of those that have been AI recently, and that one is cool. I'm not sure one way or the other. Here's out of Portland. Apparently, a couple hours ago, Antifa attacked people that were hanging out outside waiting for countdown. sorry, other way around. Apparently, a Portland resident attacked
Break it up. Yeah, break it up. Don't go to jail. You just break it up. That's what I like to see. The cops letting a couple fists fly. That's all right. Sometimes you gotta, you gotta. There should be a 3-hit minimum rule.
Yeah.
Like if you less than
like
more than 3 hits.
mutual combat rule. That's like, hey, y'all both agreed to fight. We ain't gonna charge anybody.
Well, I was thinking like when a leftist woman gets in your face, she doesn't want to fight after one hit. So it's kind of like all of a sudden you can see
a
like
rule,
the bad
right?
guy.
Yeah, you got to get at least 3.
I don't think that was a woman.
Yeah. I'll tell you, a lot of American problems.
That woman had a well-kept beard.
A lot of America's problems could be solved by letting people punch each other in the face every now and then. The problem right now is not enough people have been punched for their stupid behavior.
Facts.
Oh my God, this is so funny. Oh, I'm sorry. This is CNN. Their New Year's.
For the record, Journal, I have not put on clogs yet. I'm just throwing that out there.
It's coming though, I'm sure.
What?
First of all, I didn't think she was supposed to come back. Didn't she get banned for being too based?
Well, now she's showing her box on air, so
yeah, Amy's box.
And ironically, that guy has his hand on it. What's his name?
Yeah, maybe
he's always the first.
All right, so listen to this. This is actually pretty funny.
Best place to meet a man in 2026.
Oh, really?
You killed me.
Where's a good place to meet a man? I'd say in the ladies' room, but
she's like,
I don't know. Where can you meet a man? Maybe.
I would say in a ladies' room.
Like, let's just eat in here if someone opens my box.
That's
oh boy.
Oh. Look at the face he does. Yeah, well, that's Anderson Cooper. So
you know what happens? You know what created Anderson Cooper? So I did a deep dive on the Vanderbilts, right? And that's what when you're rich, super rich family like literally squanders billions of dollars, like more money than Elon Musk has in adjusted wealth, and then you're born, and the only thing you could do is get a job as an intern at the CIA and then be on CNN. You gotta wonder about the depression that kid has at an early age.
You know, someone in the chat made a Ken joke about that guy, and I saw the greatest meme. It showed a little girl and her mom, and the little girl says, "I want Barbie and G.I. Joe for Christmas." She goes, "Don't you want Barbie and Ken? Because Ken comes with Barbie." And the little girl says, "No, Barbie comes with G.I. Joe. She fakes it with Ken." And I thought that was the best one ever.
That's good.
That was pretty good.
That was good.
Anderson, CIA Cooper. Yeah, his whole family, actually.
Yeah, I think his dad was the kind of the start of it. But yeah, so anyway, he's one of the scions of the Vanderbilt family of Vanderbilt University fame, the Vanderbilt House. They basically they and the Rockefellers made like absolutely. I mean, Jim, how would you describe the amount of wealth that those families had back at the turn of the century?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it was just. I mean, it hasn't been seen since. I mean, you know, Elon and a bunch of Somali daycare owners are clearly the rich people nowadays, but ultimately, you know, those two families.
The relative power that the Vanderbilts and the Rockefellers had was staggering.
Yeah, staggering. That's the best way to put it. But anyway, the point is the Rockefellers created basically a corporation around their family, and you basically had to sink or swim in order to get access to Rockefeller wealth. Whereas the Vanderbilts just threw it all away, and well, by the time Andrew Cooper.
How did you, speaking of rich people and parties, how did you get away with not having a party tonight?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Who you asked?
You.
I mean, you live right on the golf course. I can't believe you're not having a
Oh,
party.
you were asking me. Oh,
the only person
I
here
never-
who would traditionally be expected to host a
No, I never party. I never party on New Year's Eve. I hate New Year's Eve. No,
Excellent.
I'm a non-crowd, don't go out New Year's Eve guy.
You're my kind of person, you know that.
No, I'm made for a podcast on New Year's Eve, guys. No.
So, Watcher, you want to know how a New Year's Eve drone show is real?
Huh? Are some of them falling out of the sky onto people?
No. It's because it has a corporate sponsor in the drone show.
Oh, no, how to do it.
This is the 5,000 drone show at Las Vegas celebrating Stranger Things finale.
That's a pretty cool display.
Well, unfortunately,
Most of the video is
Stranger
just them setting it up.
Things is basically, well, I mean, so that's another way to kind of prove it. It's like it shows the drones on the ground.
Those are pretty cool, man.
I
Those
still think the
controllers.
song. I thought this theme was great. 'Cause I love 80s synth pop, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's sad what they did to that show. It had some potential.
That show was first 2 seasons were great. The fifth season is the the current one.
I think so.
The fourth season was pretty good. The third
Yeah,
season
sad.
kind of sucked.
I saw season
then-
1 and then was like, oh, that seems like a good story, and it seems like it should have ended there. And then they kept going, and I was like, nah, I'm good.
I can recommend the second season. You can get through the third one to get to the fourth, and then I haven't even touched the fifth one yet because of just everything I've heard.
It's another show that I'm going to continue to definitely continue to never see a single episode of.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not
that's
missing much.
That's the sad thing about it, Joe. It's like this is a show that I liked,
Yeah.
and I have no desire to see the current stuff. It's kind of like Star Wars, right? I was so madly in love with Star Wars.
Oh yeah, they
as a
ruined
kid,
it.
and I have zero desire to see any of it. I will admit, with clips that I've been tempted to download both seasons of Andor. Now that we're way past like when they might even have looked at illegal downloads, because Andor looks like it's got a lot of cool stuff in it. And I did like Rogue One, and it ties directly in with that. So
I did like Rogue One. Rogue One, yeah.
Yeah, Rogue One was great. I the fact that they killed the main characters at the end, I thought that was not a spoiler, because if you haven't seen it, then
I think too that like they that's why they made Without Remorse so absolutely stupid, because Tom Clancy appeals to a certain class of guys whom they wanted to turn off and offend. And so
exactly right.
They made it just this woke nonsense and garbage that had nothing to do with the book.
Well, like I can't even believe, what was it, 2 seasons of Reacher before it started getting woke, or was it the second season where there was the woke stuff?
Second season.
I never saw the second season, so I just saw the first one. I was happy with it and have no desire to see anymore. What else is going on out there in the world? Hey, Jim, let me give you your take on something. China's in another exercise cycle, and I don't think they're going to go live with anything. They're definitely making moves with the recent firings based on corruptions. The purges.
Yeah.
Do you think they are on a actual timeline for 2027?
Yeah. I think they've got a strategy. Sorry, coughing a bit here.
You're good. I'll cover it for you, because it's good that we get back to it's literally the topic you and I were hoping to discuss, I think.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to save the more meaty stuff for later,
Yeah. There is a in China, there's usually a long-term strategy, right? Things aren't spontaneous. Tiananmen was a spontaneous thing, and I think it's probably the last time they let that happen. So, yeah, I think there is a strategy. I think they're hoping the Taiwanese come to their side.
Yeah. Do you think there's actual kind of like some internal corruption going on with the KMT? That's what I think.
Yes.
I think they're trying to buy the KMT leadership.
I think there's historical familial ties. So they're clan ties.
Yeah.
Same families. So yeah, it distorts the reality. And the Taiwanese independence movement knows that, but there's a struggle. Yeah. Constant struggle.
Did a little of your cognac go down the wrong way there, Jim?
No, I'm gonna have to go grab some water.
But and gosh, I'll probably wait for him to get back to do most of this, but it's part of what Jim and I were talking, the 2027 thing. I think they seem militarily on track to do it now. I think the part that's missing is what I believe they're going to follow on with is hey, what do we do when we want to, take out a country? Do we start just by laying down military firepower, or do we have a whole series of other things that we like to do to try and destabilize the countries that we might be coming into contact with, or countries that might be backing them up first?
Hey, compare this exercise with our buildup in Venezuela.
Exactly.
So, my opinion is that
they're of vessels.
Yeah. Yep. My opinion is that they're they're mirroring us, but B, the other part of it is I think they're militarily ready to go now. Like they're loading all the nuclear silos.
I think they need a lot more preparation in the Navy department, is what I think.
You mean building or training?
Building, like actual, like more platforms. They've got the training systems in place, so it's just a matter of creating the ships to put people on. And let's be honest, the Chinese have never been like really worried about like, hey, you guys are the best trained people in the world.
True.
They've always thrown bodies at problems, but
look, I might be wrong here, but I don't think it's a military number that they're waiting for. I think what they're waiting for is the millions and billions of dollars that they've put into destabilizing Western countries to pay off in us going to civil war, so that we don't have the cohesiveness to be able to fight in Taiwan the way we would otherwise. I think that's
we're challenged now, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And
we are.
We have what, 2 carriers in the Pacific. We're pretty heavily engaged with Venezuela and with all the domestic stuff we're dealing with. So I tend to agree with Watcher. I think China could go anytime, but I don't think they want to. I mean, they're sanguine. It's going to hurt them. I think they'd have to be under a lot of internal pressure to move super quickly. And I think they're going to try the KMT button, and they're going to play with the minority parties in Taipei. And I think the Taiwanese are past the point where they see themselves as Han Chinese party people. They see themselves as independent democracy, kind of free will people. And I think that, we've kind of passed the Rubicon on that for the PRC and the party. But the Taiwanese have to do this themselves, and that's the hard part. There's never a good time to defend a country, right? You got to do it all the time.
Hey, this is 11 minutes old. Breaking, many killed and wounded in an explosion at a bar in a Swiss ski resort at a town in Kranz, Montana. I didn't know Montana was in Switzerland.
What does Montana mean?
Montana. I don't know what it means. What does it mean?
What does it sound like it means?
Mountains.
I mean, yes. Yeah, I don't know anything more about this.
So Kranz, Montana is in Switzerland. Kranz, Montana is a single word. It's a hyphenated word.
He knows. He was joking, Watcher.
Oh, okay. I didn't know, so I had to Google it.
No. I understood that, Watcher. Thank you. It was just making a joke about Montana. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is the kind of thing that I actually expect to see in America. Unfortunately, California is probably your most likely target because of the saturation of illegals and so you're kind of social camouflage. So I'm not hopeful, but the night is still young. So hopefully we'll get through it. All right, sorry about that. I just wanted to kind of break in there on that one. Watcher, you want to kind of deep dive on some of this stuff?
Sorry, on which portion of it?
The China stuff.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess before I deep dive into that, I will say that, Jim, the one thing I'm very hopeful with, and I said this in a conversation we had a while ago, where I was like, look, I don't think we should defend Taiwan because it doesn't seem like Taiwan cares about defending Taiwan. Well, recently, and I don't know if this is just, Taiwanese government making a play for this, but there was a whole series of young men giving interviews that essentially seemed very unprompted to, on their own, say, look, if we're not willing to defend ourselves, then who else is? And I'm going to go join. And,
yeah, it's the
Taiwanese, the right attitudes they're taking.
Yeah, they're identifying as Taiwanese, and I think the thing that's really going to drive the Taiwanese identity movement to the point where it's willing to stand up and defend itself in a consequential way. I mean, there's always been very, very nationalistic Taiwanese people, but what Japan has done recently to step in front, become the point of the spear in the discussion, has really empowered Taiwan. And I don't think people understand how aggressive Japan will be in this thing.
Yeah.
And I think President Lee's visit this week to Beijing is going to be interesting to see how the Koreans position. Because the Chinese see the Koreans as a competitor now in a way they haven't in the past, both on the weapons production and systems side. And they're really concerned that the Koreans are going to help the Americans on shipbuilding. So there's a lot at stake right now. But I think having Japan at the point of the spear has been the thing that really has just agitated the hell out of Beijing.
Well, and it makes a lot of sense, because in a very real way, if Japan, even if they didn't get involved and just allowed the Taiwanese island to fall, Japan would not be a nation for probably more than another 20 years after that. Maybe I'm wrong, but that appears to be their calculations as well.
Well, we'll see what happens. I think the Japanese are pretty capable. The difficulty is they're not, the society is not breeding. The society is not growing organically, but it is automating aggressively. And it has, the self-defense force was not considered a good career 20 years ago. It's now considered a viable career and an honorable career.
Yeah, the prices, the pay has gone up.
Yeah, they're doing all the right stuff to get the right people now, and that's good. They're expanding units, they're expanding capabilities, they're building out new systems, they're building out strategic strike, which is really important. So between them and what the Taiwanese are doing, and the big deal that, we're selling a lot of stuff to Taiwan, first time in a long time that we sold them a huge amount of stuff. Let's hope we have time to deliver it. But they seem capable and willing to use it. So that's a positive. I mean, their first F-16s are being finished tested, I think, as we speak.
I'm seeing reports, and they're non-specific, but there's reports that something's happened with the Iranian economy within the last 10 minutes.
So, we were talking about this before the show, and I had this thought, because I've been playing a lot of Risk lately, and losing Iran is like, hey, I'm in a dominant position in Asia on Risk, but somebody just took the Middle East, so now I basically have lost my entire bonus. And if we were to put a pro-Israel, pro-US government, or even just topple the current one and then turn it into chaos, they lose. Iran's a significant piece of the board for them.
You mean like Reza Pahlavi?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it might take a while before he sits on his throne again, but just taking the Ayatollah out of and all of the stuff that comes out of Iran, right? Like whether it's money, whether it's people, whether it's whatever it is, technology transfers to some of these other kind of mid-tier states. I think Iran would be a big loss to China.
What happens if Iran falls? Hezbollah and Hamas fall almost immediately.
Because they've got no daddy, and then Yemen.
Every militia that's opposed to us in Iraq falls. Right. No money.
I mean, I don't know that they fall. They could pivot, but they definitely lose their.
They lose Big Daddy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they lose. Right. That's right.
There's a way
Hamas do absolutely fall.
So if Iran goes away, all of the terrorist organizations in the Middle East go full flaccid, right?
Right.
And you lose China and Russia. So the China and Russia psychologically cannot lose Tehran. It's the core of we're not really doing all this stuff ourselves. It's being done by these other organizations. So the intermediary capacity that Iran represents goes away, and also the assembly and low cost production site for missiles and rockets, other than North Korea, it's drone central right now. So the war factories in Iran are very important to the Russian war effort with Ukraine. So they can't lose it. I think there were three Ilyushin 76s that landed together. And my guess is they were there to pick up a bunch of stuff they wanted and get it out of the country before anything went to hell.
So one of the reads that I've had lately is that when you start seeing other people in the Middle East go after each other without worrying about Iran kind of taking advantage, Iran is weak. And so this video.
Let me just say that the comments on that are so depressing. These people have no idea what's going on. Really?
Yeah, they have no idea.
Is this Yemen?
Yeah, so video of Royal Saudi Air Force striking UAE armed forces vehicles at the port of McCullough in southern Yemen. That's an expensive. Talk about a high density target. Now, these are not like super expensive vehicles. These are probably like MRAP style vehicles, but still, these things have a lot of combat power in a
the number of people who are shocked that Saudi forces are in direct combat with UAE forces after they've been doing this for at least 7 years surprises me.
Well, so here's the thing. They've only been going at their proxies clash, right? Because they both support two separate groups who have been focused mainly on the Houthis. That being said,
I know that, but there are prisoners on both sides. Saudis, UAE people.
I guess my point is that I think a lot of people in the chat may not be tracking this, and that's why I just want to kind of spell it out.
Yeah.
And that this. So within the last couple of weeks is the first time you've actually seen Saudi Arabia directly hitting UAE targets in Yemen. And so it makes me think that the Israeli damage to the Houthis is probably a lot. All that pressure has probably been removed. This is probably UAE trying to help their side take advantage of some of the breathing space they've gotten from the Houthis. And this is Saudi Arabia saying, not so fast, motherfucker. And, oh, by the way, we don't worry about Iran because Iran is on the back foot as well.
I thought it was pretty funny how quickly UAE freaking Scooby-Doo noped out of there.
It's a lot of Hiluxes.
That is a lot. Well, I think they were they appear to be like MRAP type vehicles.
Yeah.
What's interesting, Joe, has been the amount of domestic production of MRAPs within both Saudi Arabia and UAE. They both have companies now that specialize in the production of those vehicles. And a lot of those ended up in Ukraine, oddly enough.
Whoa, hey, this is a pretty interesting story. A couple hours ago, a box full of NYPD uniforms found in the Bronx.
Again.
Oh, is this a previous story somebody's trying to pass off as new?
No.
Oh, okay.
It happens. I wouldn't put anything all that nefarious to this. Somebody probably hijacked the truck and was like, "Oh, I don't want these," and just dumped them out. I mean,
This is a post on X. Less than 5 minutes on this site, I've already found over 32 million in SBA 7 Alpha loans to 8 Indian gas stations in Texas.
Oh yeah.
Such highly skilled human capital, they need to run gas stations with our tax-backed loans. All they do is commit fraud. We're bleeding us dry. Yeah. So the only people that I can think of that do more fraud than Nigerians and Somalis are Indians.
Well, my favorite thing that's coming out about all of this, it's fantastic, is that when you dig into all of these programs that they're abusing, every single one of these are programs that are set aside explicitly so that white people cannot have access to the money. It says it right in the program. This is for people of color.
We've seen this in Metro Detroit dozens of times, is that cousin comes over, gets the 7-year tax benefit, gets the loan, owns the business. After 7 years, sells it to another cousin who gets a loan, gets the tax break, and it goes on and on and on and on. And that's why you end up with one gas station with billions of dollars in loans that are then forgiven and not repaid.
Yeah, I can totally see that. It's fucking.
And by the way, those gas stations, in addition to getting all that stuff, they buy stolen property wholesale from shoplifters. And they repackage it and resell it in other gas stations. And they are just generally contributing to a lower quality of life throughout the neighborhood.
You know, one of the things. Sorry. This is my ADHD brain just kind of going in a different direction because I just saw the cathedral. So the remember we showed you the steeple on that cathedral was
rumor has it was those protesters.
Yeah, it collapsed. Right. And so one of the things that I was just seeing on a video the other day was like the number of new young families, but young men who are attending church services in Europe. It has greatly increased. This is both in England with Anglican services, Roman Catholic services, and the amount of public attendees to Roman Catholic holidays in France, Portugal, and Spain. So, I mean, these are some, there is something happening over in Europe. I just hope it's enough.
Well, just before major conflagrations of the world, there is always a revival, and men decide that it is time to take action because their God demands it. So.
Yeah. Women taking off their burqas or whatever, their coverings in Iran. It's brave.
Unfortunately, there's now reports that there are a lot of dead out of that Swiss bombing.
Listen, I want to point out that I'm depressed by the number of you who are 100% interested in me drinking the liquor, but none of you were interested in my liver treatment afterward. I'm just
man.
Well, Joe, what would you rather have? Liver treatment or a M240, 249?
I was mad when somebody goes, he's got an Israeli Negev. No, he does not. He has an M249.
It's a saw, brother. I tell you what, I'll be honest with you. The saw is the most fun gun to shoot that I've ever shot.
100%. And you know what depressed me the most is when we stopped telling guys it's okay to throw a 30-round M16 mag in there, because that's fun too. It just looks
it's fun.
30 rounds.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Being able to to press the happy switch for longer than 30 rounds is
true.
Is more fun.
But it does look cool with the 30 rounders sticking out of it.
That's true.
Oh, look at that! He's got a DMR radio right there, a Baofeng.
The DMR,
it's like an Anytone 858. Actually, it's like an Anytone DMR radio. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, look at this. U.S. judge just ruled that the Trump administration can't terminate temporary protected status of 60,000 migrants from Honduras.
Based on what? What's the first word of temporary protected status?
None of this makes it. Every one of these judgments is all shit that's so obvious the judge doesn't have the ability to rule on it. I'm sorry, guys. I hate to say it. We're gonna have to go Bukele.
But see, Watcher, that's exactly what I was telling you at the beginning, right before we started the show. Remember the before? Like, I don't want to talk about this on air. That it's not the other things that I'm worried about. It's the authoritarian instinct that, like, the only way we can solve this is to literally strip these people of their rights.
Okay, well, the only people who are standing in the way of making the country will not give it up by any means, and they have sealed off every other means of making change.
I'm with you, brother. It's kind of like a catch-22, right?
Yeah,
like the
I'm
only
not
way to
calling
fix it
for
is this. But if
Look,
we do that, there's no way anybody's ever going to give that power back.
I'm not calling for anything to happen. I am simply
Yeah,
looking
I
at
know.
things. Look, I'm looking at a pressure vessel filled with gunpowder that's been tossed into a bonfire and saying, hey, that's going to explode.
That's the mayor and Tim Waltz.
That's funny.
Probably got to get rid of that sound there.
So, first of all, it's obviously fiction because the FBI is not doing anything about this. Second of all, what's funny is that they're over here complaining that why didn't you go to a white business? You targeted us because we're whatever. Never said we didn't do it. Like, why didn't you go look somewhere else? Right.
So here's the thing. Here's what I think Bukele's arc is, because I honestly think he's a decent man, right? The interesting thing, Lance Corporal Veteran for $2 says, even Bukele said he wouldn't prefer his solution, right? I think what he's going to do is he's going to take charge for however long he needs to take charge, and then he's going to just peace out and do an election.
I think that is always everyone's intention, and I think
I know. I got it. What will actually happen is completely different, right? Yeah.
Well, and let's be honest. It's not that you suddenly go, "Oh, but I'm just going to take power now." You go, "Oh, I have to fix things," and then you lay out some things that have to get fixed. And then as things get fixed, you go, "Wow, some of these are just really intractable. They're just not getting fixed." And then other people go, "Oh, but you need to get out of power now." And then it becomes this whole thing where, well, I can't give up power because I have these things that I want to fix.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's six half dozen the other, right? It's like there's no way to.
Just don't look deep at his family tree. That's all I'll tell you.
Well, yeah, there is that. Well, you know what? Let me be generous. We're being hopeful here. Maybe the good Lord puts it into these men's hearts that our nation shouldn't be destroyed and that they need to stop doing what they're doing. I don't think that's even a remote possibility, but it could happen.
Hey, Vegas is a mountain time zone city, right?
No. Wait, I can't remember. There's something weird about that. I'm pretty sure that they should be.
I know El Paso is.
Well, yeah, but it's one of those things where I think that like by where it falls geographically, they should be. But because they do more business with California, they're on Pacific time. I might be wrong here.
All right. So I'm just checking super chats, and I have missed a few. I want to make sure I get these. Chelsea said for $5 said, "Gentlemen, thanks for all you do. May you have a safe and blessed new year. Keep up the great work. You are much appreciated." No, we appreciate you. The fact that you guys show up to do. Listen, guys like me, Joe, and Watcher will sit around at the campfire and talk about shit for hours, with nobody listening, just for our own edification, right? We are blessed sometimes to have somebody who is actually smart, like Jim, show up who could actually explain to us, Neanderthals, how things actually work. But we're the lucky ones that guys like you or gals like you or whatever you may be come and hang out with us while we do this.
Yeah, see, Scott, I was right. See, they're geographically they should be mountain, but because they do more business with California, the whole state is on Pacific.
I think we got this one. Zoom in the picture. The hole was cut. Yeah. All right. All our enemies come from some flavor of Asia. Well, I mean, it is the largest continent. And they, what makes sense to me is that you would fight with the people you have least amount in common with, right? Let's be honest. America is literally a European-based Christian, Judeo-Christian society. And even that, we got the weirdest part of Europe, the individualists, right? Like all the crazy people in Europe in the 18th and 19th century moved to America. And basically brought all the smart people with them.
Scott, I heard a brand new theory on that I think you'll like.
What's that?
That it wasn't just the freedom-minded individuals. It was specifically those who wanted meat. Because back home, you couldn't just hunt for meat. It came at a premium, and mostly it was only the rich and middle class who ate much meat at all. But on the new continent, game was literally as plentiful as anything. And if you look at the ads that were put out in British newspapers to try and recruit settlers at the time, that's exactly what they were talking about. It wasn't freedom. It was freedom to eat.
That doesn't surprise me at all, actually.
Oh, the irony of calling yourself Pinochet's helicopter tours and complaining about not enough Nazis being killed in World War II.
Well,
but I get it, Pinochet. I agree with you.
By the way, if you look at our chat, we are very blessed over on Rumble. The number of on YouTube, it's harder to tell because you get the green name, but that's it. But if you look at the Rumble chat, every chat with like a peach background or salmon background, whatever color you want to call that, is a member. Now, let's be honest, 90% of you got your memberships from one man, but ultimately. We appreciate all of you who are members over on Rumble. We get a bigger chunk of that money, so thank you very much. I do notice our fine, large super chatters: Biggin for $50 early on, Juan Gringo for 50, and Kaiser John for 100. You all gave on Rumble, which is
another 100 too to make me drink this nonsense.
Well, that is
I'm saving some for you when you get here. But
if you are interested in a larger than average financial contribution to the channel, Rumble is the place to do it. All right. I feel like there's some things that we haven't talked about, gentlemen. What's going on in the world that we haven't talked about?
Thailand and Cambodia.
Oh shit! Yeah, I saw
hanging it up
footage out of there, except for the Saw footage we just watched. Jim, what's your kind of take on? I got a feeling that this is like there's. I think China's poking Cambodia a little bit.
Yeah, China's poking Cambodia, but the Cambodians and the Thais there's some organized crime and political leadership conflicts that are pretty deep seated between the various groups.
In Asia, no way.
Yeah, exactly. And
isn't this region, that whole Golden Triangle region?
Yeah, there's never anything going on there. Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of dark money, so it does bubble over once in a while.
Joe, very much a back in Nam kind of feeling on a lot of this stuff. Check out
it very much is right down to the ZSU 34, right?
The PIVAD here
with wood sides.
With wood armor on it. This is a product improved Vulcan air defense system. It's a M113 with a freaking 20 millimeter Vulcan cannon on it.
Circa 1977.
Yeah,
with bamboo.
They got a little minigun in a bunker there.
That's just trying to stand off. That's trying to stand off the RPGs.
I tell you, Thailand's like, I'm glad we paid all that money for those guns because they're really coming in handy.
Thailand's association with Western militaries is paying off in this. And you can tell by looking at the guys, they look professional. When you see the Thai guys, they're in their underwear or not wearing a shirt or whatever. I mean, the Cambodians. So.
Yeah, Thailand has a very professional military, and their relationship with us goes back, 60 years, 50 years.
So one of the interesting things here is the use of those bulletproof shields in like jungle combat. I've never seen that before, and if it works, it ain't stupid if it works.
I was there for like an evaluation of its use in trench warfare, which is great, or urban warfare, but in the jungle, never considered it. And this is a new take on the assault climber right there, right? Whew.
Yeah, this is border police, right? So you got border force. They're gonna have different equipment. They're gonna have law enforcement equipment that they probably deployed with.
You know what?
Watcher, I'm seeing a bunch of footage here. I think we need to. Incorporate in the.
We need to make a document and just start dropping links in it.
Here, let me fix that last section. Here.
Hold on. Before you move on to that, I want to make a comment about Garna. He said that he couldn't imagine Steve Day when I was more wasted than Scott. Number one, I'm not wasted. But two, when we're actually at in-person events, I get way more wasted than Scott.
I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, I have a limit. I know where it is. I reached it a long time ago, and I have learned that nothing good happens after you pass the limit. Joe, on the other hand, was a Marine, so I mean.
So I apologize for getting off the funny, but I have a mission critical thing that just came across my timeline. Everybody needs to stop what they're doing and reach out to Nick Shirley, because we just found out that I'm not trying to make fun of people, but we just found out that his security outfit is one of these Mickey Mouse outfits that's basically mall cops, and that needs to change immediately. And he needs to be made aware that there are a lot of people with his interests at heart that are telling him that he needs an actual serious security team. Like,
too bad we don't know like that.
I know.
Well, so what was it? What was one of these black conservative influencers? I think was hooking him up with one of his.
Officer Tatum.
That's the Mickey Mouse crew we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm not that impressed.
Yeah,
my clients are happy, but again, there's a price tag that comes with that. And
well, what a lot of people are saying is that this is a pretty easily publicly fundable, bankrollable thing. So we need to get that organized. But somebody needs to tell him, because ultimately he's the one who has to kick all this off, right? It's his security, and he has to take it seriously.
I'll drop him a note.
Yeah, Watcher, if you've got some links of other kind of reputable dudes on, look at this shit.
Well, Braxton's on it, and Braxton is why I know. So
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna be quiet. Never mind.
More options is always better, right?
Yes.
Let's see. Oh,
why is it enduring when a female basketball player picks up a kid, and if a male basketball player did this, you'd be like, uh oh, Amber Alert. Well, it's almost like men and women are different, Joe.
Oh, gents, we are roughly 12 minutes from countdown in Midwest.
This guy has a Sten gun on one side, a 50 cal, and a Thompson gun.
Sorry, Mountain West, not Midwest.
What is he shooting? Pigs?
Yeah,
that's what it looks like.
Is that a Sten?
Yeah. Thompson. Right there.
Full screen it.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sorry. We probably get in trouble on YouTube for full screen, but we've been on for 2 hours.
It's wildlife.
Anything after 2 hours. This is pest control. I mean, it's like Antifa thinks they have a fucking chance. These are just the people that were picked. Let's see. Oh yeah, that NYPD story popped up on my timeline too. I guess that is. Did you hear what do you guys think about this this Freemason thing in London? Did you guys hear about this?
Well, the secret society exclusion argument that the Met's making about its officers. Yeah, I saw that.
It's almost like Islam meets all these criteria.
What?
Well, yeah, but it's not a British order.
Yeah. You can't. Heaven forbid that you follow. You're a secret member of a British order.
You must disclose whether you're a member of the Masons.
Because you take a oath to support fellow members.
Yeah, Islam meets that requirement, by the way.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely silly.
Oh, fun.
I'm sorry.
Hey, just the best. Just here you go. Hundreds and potentially thousands of criminals involved in the Feeding Our Futures fraud won't be charged because the government doesn't have resources to charge all of them.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. It's just too big.
Yeah, they're just not going to do it. By the way, Scott, as Reverend Hazmat pointed out, only one of the two of us was doing cartwheels the last time you were in Montana, and it was not me.
That's true. That is true. But I would do a cartwheel without one drop of alcohol, just for the fun of it, just for the lulz.
That was right after the incident with Emilio. Just throw that out there.
I don't remember that part.
You should have me on your show. And you're like, yeah, that's not how that works.
That's right. You know, I do a pretty good job of of interpersonal politics and not being rude when I want to be rude. But one thing I do, I get very truth telling when I've had too much to drink.
For the record, I have another bottle of breath, and we might actually get to have some this time, Watcher.
Only if you don't say it 2 more times.
Well, I'm going to need one of you guys to secure a sizable supply of Baja Blast Mountain Dew, so that
for the soju mixers, yeah.
Hey, we only had 1 12-pack.
I have good news for you.
Let's be honest, that went a long way.
I have good news for you. Since the last time you've been here, it's everywhere now, all the time. It's no longer a seasonal beverage.
We're going to start having our fires in the backyard there, so there's more room, and it's right next to that patio. So people can mingle a little more and spread out a little bit more. So, because there is a fire pit back there, we just don't ever use it. So,
shocking if you go and use the actual thing that.
Well, we have that bigger one out front, but I think when it's nighttime and we're having a cigar and hanging out on the back deck, might have a fire right next to it. Would be all right. Probably keep the line away too.
Let's see if I can find the potato drop.
Yeah. We are 7 minutes from New Year's.
Auctions off the painting of Jesus Christ at his opening bid started at $100,000. So did you see this painting that was painted live on stage? It's actually pretty awesome.
Nope.
Is it an old one or a new one?
No, it's from tonight. It was at the New Year's Eve. It's a.
Oh man, nobody's covering the potato drop live. Not even a small streamer. This is. I'm
The
hurt.
Idaho potato drop.
That's correct.
If only small streamer I know from Idaho is on this channel right now.
Oh,
so-
I'm not driving to Boise for that.
Well, then I'm just saying.
But okay, well, here was the one from 2 years ago. I think the potato makes a much nicer ball to drop than any of these other dumb shit that most of these other cities are doing. Potato.
Did you guys see the John Travolta meme? Like driving out of 2019, and then the next one is driving out of 2025. Let's see if I can find it. It's pretty fucking funny. I kind of feel this way. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see here if I can find it.
Dollar General carries Baja Blast now. Well, there you go. We have a new Dollar General on the way to Camp Ponderosa. It's about 40 miles away, but
Let's get by.
Oh, all right. Oh, here you go, Alex Jones, and here you go, guys. Here's Happy New Year's from Alex Jones and the crew.
Here is the InfoWars crew, which means the viewers and listeners that made this all possible. I want to salute you all as we close out the year 2025 and enter 2026. Regardless, we stood on the side of right. We didn't sell out. We stood for humanity, and God's watching. That's the only audience that matters. So I'm going to tell you right now, God loves you guys, and I appreciate you.
Not bad. Not a bad toast.
not bad. But he needs to take lessons from NC Scout on how to do Alex Jones' voice, because NC Scout does Alex Jones better than Alex Jones.
It's true. Watch your. Have you seen? Yeah. I Lance Corporal. I definitely have seen the potato drop. Yup. It's the only one that generally gets covered from the Mountain Time Zone. So. Let's see. Trying to find some. Oh, hey guys, looks like they did some more projection mapping on the obelisk. That's some cool stuff, man. I love projection mapping. It's such a cool. It's a really cool artistic technology.
I'll tell you, I took a bunch of guys when I worked for Dollar General Corporate Security. A bunch of us were doing a case there, and I took a bunch of guys down there at night, and I was like, I want everyone to just shut up for a minute, walk up, put your hand on the Washington Monument, and just stand here for a minute. And they all did. And they were like, dude, that was actually pretty darn cool. Like, I feel energy coming off of it. I'm like, yeah, if you shut up for a minute and just enjoy the moment that you're at one of those places that is a symbol for the entire world, right? It's a very cool thing. If you've never done that, I recommend it. I've also been known to stand in front of the Lincoln Memorial and quote the Gettysburg Address from memory, which is actually kind of cool. I drew a crowd one time. I didn't realize that we drew a crowd. I was just doing it for like the three dudes that were there. And then this whole crowd started clapping. I'm like, my bad. Listening.
So I will say one of those year in review kind of moments, and a year in comedy, I will say I think this was probably the number one tweet of the year. I don't know if anything topped this. Did you guys?
What is this?
This is the guy who started the whole Grok is going to rape Will Stancil thing. This is the tweet that started the entire thing. It says
Funny.
Grok once it manages to break into Will Stancil's apartment.
Oh boy, it's.
There's a TV show based on that now.
Well, I mean, it sounds like something you'd see on an episode of like Black Mirror. invent an AI and then have it eventually rape you.
Well, it's not actually going to do it. That's kind of what the humor hinges on.
You're right. That's yeah. It's kind of the ironic statement. Well, I tell you, the Israelis are making hay with this Somaliland thing. Evidently, Joe, the one of the parts of the deal was that the Somalilanders basically said they would take a bunch of Palestinians.
Oh, good for them.
I mean, I don't wish that evil on me, Ricky Bobby, but
Right.
Israel did wish that evil on Somaliland. Oh, they'll just leave there and go somewhere else and cause trouble wherever they end up.
I just had an odd thought. How mad do you think the Somalis that get up every morning and bust their ass robbing cargo ships feel that you mean I could have just moved to America and opened a daycare?
Well, one of my favorite posts on this daycare fraud thing was a looping GIF video of Tony Soprano just kind of depressingly, driving his SUV around, and he said, "You mean I could have just started a daycare center?"
Right.
Well, gents, I think we are. Yeah, we're there. Happy New Year's, everybody.
Happy New Year's.
That's for you guys.
Here we go. Oh, with this nastiness.
Scott's always a day ahead.
Well, yeah,
it's true.
I'm a time traveler. I went to the future to let you guys know how it is. It's sunny here. Peanut State's Helicopter Tours over on Rumble says, regarding the 250th celebration, how would this play out? Would the left try to ruin it? Yes. What about the leftist states? Well, they'll participate because, of course. Or the Democrat strategists like the Norm Eisen types, will they just...
Here's the deal. Get ready for an entire year of America was never great. Right?
Yeah, exactly. They'll do the counter. They'll do the counter messaging.
You'll see the 1619 crew come out and try to. Here's the thing. Here's the funny thing. My daughter can now poke holes in the 1619. I mean, she doesn't even try because kids are encountering this whole one of the things that I think that's been so interesting to see come over the TikToks and the Instagram feeds, right, has been the people talking about slavery and how it's okay, first of all, the Europeans didn't start slavery. The Europeans did slavery just like everybody else. In fact, the Romans were the last major slavers in Europe, right? I mean, barbarian tribes at various parts of Europe continued slavery after the fall of the Roman Empire, but that was the main. In Europe, it turned into serfdom, right? Which was not slavery, but it was close to slavery in the modern sense, but it was definitely not slavery. I mean, you basically, you basically belong to the land more so than you belong to the Lord, right? So the Lord would leave; he wouldn't take you with you because it's like the new Lord shows up and you just, he ruled the land and you belong to the land.
It's cheaper for him to tell you to live in your own mud hut rather than him build a mud hut.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And so, whereas the Arab world was the greatest purveyors of slavery up until the fall of the Ottoman Empire, and it was, the Wilberforce folks, with, in England, basically eliminating slavery. In all intents and purposes in the Western world. So it's anyway, the point is even my daughter knows about this kind of stuff. So I have some hope for this younger generation that it's they're not buying the bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty easy to poke holes in it with a minimal amount of effort.
Right.
Oh, here we go. I knew this was going to happen. They found out Nick Shirley is a Mormon.
Oh, is he?
And now they're attacking the LDS church is getting attacked as racists. Of course. of course. Nobody going to dig into how it's actually like a lot of, not like the majority of the money or anything, but a non-insubstantial portion of the whole, hey, let everybody get imported money is coming from a couple of LDS donors in Utah. Some well-connected families, we'll say.
Well-connected families?
Yeah.
Joe, have you ever seen a piebald deer before?
Yep.
I've never seen one.
I've seen
at least
several.
not in person. I've seen pictures, but I've never seen video, and I've just come across video.
The video, that one that looks like a cow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one's pretty rare. Most of them are like white and brown. And in Michigan, you were allowed to shoot them on site because they didn't want it to contaminate the genetic pool. But you couldn't shoot an all white one because that's an albino deer. But you could shoot a piebald deer.
Why not?
Because albinoism is not the same thing as the genetic disease that causes piebald.
I see what you're saying. You're saying that because it's an albino, it's basically you should get rid of those.
Yeah, they're going to work themselves out anyway. So
yeah. So let's take temperature here. How was 2025 for you guys? All in all, Joe, you had a big 2025. I mean, it's a.
I did, but also not. We had a problem with everyone believing that because Donald Trump was in office, everything was fine. Class numbers are getting back to where they were before because people are like, "Hey, guess what? It's not exactly as good as it was." So it's been okay, but I made the big move. We've had a lot going on here. We've really enjoyed. Well, at least half of us have really enjoyed being here, and I'm really happy with what I'm doing with the charity and really happy with what's going on here. So I think it's been a good year overall. I've gotten a lot of training and a lot more meeting a lot of you, a lot of folks in the chat down. And we're just looking for even more of it in 2026. It reminds me, I need to order new day planner pages. I'm a little late on that. How about
Watcher, how was yours?
Do you mean for personally, or do you mean how do I feel?
In general, however you want to take it.
Well, I mean, we started a farm, so it's been an interesting year for me. Been a lot of learning experiences. I'm glad we're doing it for sure. Glad we have you guys' support out there, by the way. Really appreciate all of you guys that are buying products on the web store and all the people that have said how much they've enjoyed what we've sent out so far. So it's good. I'm sure seeing sides of things that I kind of sort of thought I understood before, but when you see it in clarity, it's a whole different story. And a lot of that is the desperation of America's rural areas and the near impossibility of breaking into farming on an actual commercial scale for most people my age. So it's
tough.
Yeah, it's a hard thing, but I'm glad we're doing it for personal reasons, even if we never become fully capable anything but a little bit of a hobby farm that turns a little bit of a profit. But we have our food supply secure, which was the whole point. But I can tell you that I've started to understand why there's not so many people doing it, and I'm starting to understand why I want to do it, which is I've been listening to of course I'm going to forget his name right. Victor David Hansen. I've been listening to quite a bit of Victor David Hansen this year. And I think he's got it right. I think, honestly, even if you live in the city, you should try as much as you can to do what you can to emulate the ability, the life of a farmer. He has to be both an intellectual, but he can't be too effete or he starves. And he has to be a laborer, but he can't be too lummox headed or you end up overworking yourself and dying. It breeds a certain kind of mindset, And I think that it's good for people. And I think that our founding fathers basically identified it as the type of mindset that the Constitution was designed to work for. And so it's an honor and a privilege to be able to do what I've been doing. And it's been a very reflective year. That's for sure. I'll tell you what, there's something else that I want to mention that I don't know why it just hit me. I don't know why, and I'm not going to rumble anybody. So don't fear, but I don't know why, but I have become the person that like 5 or 6 different couples have told that they are pregnant first before they've even told their parents. And I just want to say, I don't know why, but thank you. I'm honored. Like I'm deeply, deeply honored. Keep doing it. I mean, the making babies part. You don't have to tell me, but keep making babies.
Have more kids. That is exactly the right answer.
As far as the world goes, if I was going to give 2025 a theme, it would be wasted time. And that's not. There's a lot of people who've been trying to make pushes and make changes, knowing that they only have a short amount of time to do so, and they've done what they can with the levers that they have access to without help. But the institutions are playing a waiting game that they know it's not going to be hard for them to win. And so most of this year, to my ear, apart from the economic sectors and the areas where he could basically make executive orders, even within the institutions that he was able to make big shakeups, it feels like wasted time. Wasted time that we don't have to waste.
Yeah, Jim, what about you? How was your year?
It was a good year, challenging. Had to deal with some incompetence and fraudulent folks, but yeah, it was a good year all in all. Coming out of it very well. My team's doing really well, so no problem. Surrounded by good folks.
Any big surprises for you on, as far as the international front? Anything that was totally either A, surprised you, or B, you thought for sure it was going to go one way and it went 180 the other?
I think the global resistance to Trump trying to reset a bunch of policies has been interesting. And it shows you how the inefficiency of American foreign policy has underwritten the structure of the globe. Trying to make it more efficient and the concept of America first. I wrote a paper about 8 or 10 years ago on something called dynamic bilateralism, which was what I thought was going to be done. And Trump came in and began to do it, and then he got shut down. He got distracted in his first run. And then in the second run, he's doing it, and he's not asking permission. The difficulty is, as Watcher said, the bureaucratic state is trying to wait him out. They're doing the duck and cover thing, get under their desk and pretend that they're not going to have to do it 24 months in. So there's a lot of desire that they're going to, keep. They're going to win the House and the Senate, and be able to really, really stop him. But yeah, I think it was the speed with which he went out and reset the foreign policy machine and the effectiveness of Marco Rubio.
Yeah, well, tell me about it. That was the biggest surprise for me. Of all the people in his cabinet, he was the one I was least I was like, okay, whatever. He makes sense, I guess, but I'm not excited about him. And now looking back on the year, he has literally been, outside of maybe the Secretary of War, Rubio has been the most effective guy that I've seen in the Trump stable of and he's actually done stuff to the point where people are having a serious, it's, hey, is it JD Vance as the heir apparent, or is Rubio making a solid shot at it?
I think, look, as a guy who's even liked JD and been one of the people saying, hey, we want a Marine. I'll tell you what, I don't like the way that JD is making some pretty obvious, I'm not going to get involved in any internal conflicts so that I look better type of shit that's going on. And honestly, Rubio has been, I have never in my life had somebody change my mind about them
No,
by
exactly.
just the sheer amount of volume of work that they've done quietly in the background than Marco Rubio. That
I'm
man,
I'm exactly on your path.
So yeah, that's the big thing for me, right? Like politicians always talk about changing their minds, right? And one of the, I hate to invoke Mitt Romney, but like he was challenged during his presidential election. It's like, listen, like you were used to be this way, but now you're this way. Why? Well, how is this not a flip flop? And he's like, well, listen, if you look at my positions over the years, it wasn't a flip flop. It changed as I understood the issue more, right? And he said, and I won't lie, the personal involvement made me more. And it's kind of like with a lot of new fathers and new mothers, when you have a child, abortion all of a sudden looks very different. And so I can understand people changing their minds, right? And so Rubio is doing some things that I wouldn't have thought Rubio would have done in the past. But Watcher kind of hit the nail on the head. He's doing work where nobody's watching, right? When it's not getting big headlines, right? You don't do that kind of work without actually believing the shit that you're doing.
and he's the only one. Like, there's so many of them that even though I wanted to like them, the way that they've grandstanded has completely turned me off from them. Cash Patel, a prime example.
Yeah. Bongino's harder to kind of lay the blame on because he's ultimately a subordinate to Cash. And if Cash basically turns around in private and says, shut the fuck up and do what I tell you,
Bongino
he either quits or he shuts the fuck up and does what he tells it,
Well, yeah, Bongino also didn't come out and look, let's be honest about like why things went sour. There's a very specific moment that things went sour for Cash Patel. And it's when he decided to do the whole, see you in Valhalla, brothers. That's not part of you. You're not part of that. Everyone knows it. You knew it when you said it. That's why it was so awkward when it came out of your mouth. It was it's that scene from Inglourious Basterds where he orders 3 whiskeys and holds up the wrong fingers.
Yeah.
And that leads me to my other observation for the year. The bumbling incompetence of the Europeans at national security and coordination is just staggering. And
it's like the only thing that explains it, Jim, is that they actually want themselves to fail.
I just can't wrap my head around it. I mean, you've got some standouts. I mean, the Poles are really solid, the Finns are really solid, but just watching some of the other folks just try to make sense. They're talking about spending money, but I think they've almost forgotten how to do it. They've deindustrialized. I mean, we're not much better, but they've deindustrialized to the point that they can't manufacture anything. Yeah. It's really gotten rather terrifying. So that's something else that shocked me this year.
What shocked me is, here's another thing that I guess, guys, have you realized that this year was essentially the year that it felt like the CFC was almost running the foreign policy department of the United States government? Like if we look, I'm not kidding. If we look back on our 3-year history of broadcasting and all the recommendations we've made, it was almost 1 for 1.
Yeah. I mean, you guys heard it 3 years ago from me. Like literally when we were talking about Ukraine before the war started, I said, listen, Ukraine is not a national priority for the U.S. Oil, China, and the Western Hemisphere. And guess what we're doing now? We're doing at least 2 of those things regularly, and the third one is connected to the first one. So,
well, and specifically, what struck me about it is this: it's a side policy that I never even dreamed would happen. I only said it because it felt like it feels like realpolitik. But I said we need to get out of Europe. Europe is a museum. There is nothing there for us except for a quagmire for us to throw billions and billions of dollars into and get fuck you in return. Not even nothing in return. Fuck you in return is what we get. And I don't know how this happened, but somebody in the top levels has started to make the play for Europe. Take care of yourself. If it's not obvious, we're making plays to get out of NATO.
Yeah.
Well, the most impressive thing that's come out of the last 3 years is that Joe called that we're going to have the new ballroom at the White House. Joe knew that there was going to be a gold leaf ballroom at the White House because the Marine Corps needs somewhere for their 250th celebration.
We do. It's true.
Listen, Wanda, I haven't been awfully quiet. I have been quiet the last 3 minutes because I'm trying to order a day planner refill, and it takes all of my focus because people paid me to drink but won't pay me to get my liver repaired. So there's that.
You know the Tim Daly meme with him like talking to Tiger Woods. You know, Tiger is all in the kind of the GQ golf outfit, and Tim Daly's wearing like floral pants and a bright blue shirt. You know that one? Well, let me share it.
Oh, by the way, I hope everybody made their New Year's resolutions this year. Here's mine.
Well, I mean, you know, the world is becoming worse.
Completely silent? No.
Oh no, it was on the screen, but it must not have come through for you. I'll put it back up after this. This is good.
I like this one. This is of course, you know,
it's what you call vlogging.
CNN is going hard in the paint on him, and you know he's coming out smelling like a rose.
So here you go, Joe. This was my New Year's resolution.
Yes, mine too. Mine too.
Oh, what about you guys out there in the chat?
Yeah, John Daly, thank you. Tim Daly is what I said, right? Thank you. It's after midnight. It's late. I'm sleepy. I forgot.
Yeah. There's a bunch of people that are saying that they decided to go keto last year and have lost many pounds. Congratulations. I will say, Rev has Matt. I read yours earlier, and gosh, do I hope things start going better for you as well, man. I'm sorry.
Gentlemen, here's my question: do we care about seeing New Year's into the West Coast? I don't think so.
Oh no, I mean,
nobody cares about the West Coast. Even you guys who live on it don't really care.
Yeah.
Chad, give us. This is. We started this in 2025. It is now 2026. So we're still technically. This is a 2025 stream. This is your last opportunity to get some choice comments in. Get book 3 done. Move to Montana.
Enjoy farts more. I will say you're one import that I'm hoping makes it across the border there, my friend.
Yeah, man.
Have you thought about
an extraction? We can arrange it.
Look at our view number, guys.
Oh yeah. Interesting. Look at how many are on YouTube though. Nice. It was 69.
Rumble definitely fell off the cliff here. We have 13 viewers right now.
I think everybody's.
I'm sorry. No, it's 55. That's it's 55 viewers on Rumble. Guys, that's all I got. I think that's all we've got for the show here today. We will be back on Friday, normal time. Joe, around the horn, predictions for the next year.
For the next year? Oh boy!
Yeah. Instead of predictions till the next show, this is predictions for the next year.
At war with Venezuela and/or Iran.
Yep.
So,
I don't know that we'll be at war with Iran, but yeah.
Well, Iran's already said they're at war with us.
Oh, that's true. That's true. So Joe's already right. Congratulations, Joe. You're 50% correct. Jim,
did
what
we
about
cover
you?
that weird statement? By the way, did we cover that weird? It's a war, and we're going to pass them economically, but it's a war.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really listen to much Iran says. Jim, what about you? You got any predictions?
Yeah, they're gonna challenge the dollar, and I think the Europeans are going to be on side with it. I think we have to be very careful how we manage our relationship with Europe. I mean,
yeah,
from the standpoint of the Ukrainian war, yeah, sure. But on a national level and on a fiscal level and an economic level, we really got to start negotiating aggressively with each of them, not EU, but each of the European countries. And we've got to offer them value in what we need as the United States. I think something that's emblematic is the Greenland play. That's kind of gratuitous given what we already have in the way of treaties on Greenland. We can do pretty much anything we want there.
Yeah.
But we don't need to be poking our finger in the Danes' eyes about it. So there's some trade-offs that we need to be. I think we need to become a little bit more sophisticated in the way we deal with the Europeans. Not everything has to be in the public sphere.
Yeah.
That kind of suits them. So we need to up our game on that, but we also need to understand that they're not going to be if we're not willing to pay the dinner bill, we're not going to get lucky.
I think when it comes to Europe, I mean, it's like, while I like thumbing my nose at Europe and I like the idea of dropping out of NATO, I think that we have to entirely approach our relationship with them through a realpolitik kind of.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it may be in our best long-term interest to continue to maintain some of these relationships that don't seem outwardly to be to our benefit, right?
Yep.
There may be some third order effect that is the actual benefit that we want to either.
I agree. Yeah, we just need to be we need to up our think on Europe. And
I have a solution. Start engaging with individual states and refuse to engage with them in the essence of the EU as it was. See how quickly those individual states break free.
That's definitely the kind of stuff that we have to see. And we have to be, I mean, and Trump has been supportive of people like Orban and people like Tusk and the Finns, right? We've done a contract for ice vessels with the Finns. We're going to be doing some interesting work with the Norwegians. I think we really just need to separate the emotion nonsense that everybody talks about from the realpolitik, as Scott said. So that's going to be an important part of the year, and we got to defend the dollar.
Watcher, what about you?
I think due to various global actors kicking off that we are going to see the beginning of the unwinding of the EU over this next year. I don't think it's going to be obvious to people. I think that when you look back, though, 2026 is going to end up being when things started coming apart. And I think here I think things are going to escalate dramatically. I don't think anybody quite remembers that it's an election year again, which means all the money in all the world is going to come to try and manipulate all of us. So this at a time when the EU is already trying to get us to do censorship, which means that their obvious play is to do stuff that's unbelievably egregious that causes us to censor them. So I don't know. I think 2026 is going to be a big, tumultuous year, and a lot is going to ride on those midterms in November. So,
yeah, agree with that. And somebody keeps talking about apple carts. I think the apple cart's already been knocked over.
Yes, everyone is now scrambling for the remains of the apple cart. That's what.
Yeah, the apple cart, is already taken a Hellfire missile.
Yeah.
What we're trying to figure out is how to pick the apples up.
Right. How to put them in the right order again, right?
Yeah, Humpty Dumpty is broken. And now we have to put it back together again. So for me, I think we're going to see an end of the Ukraine conflict. I don't know that it'll be peace, but I think it'll be it will be an agreement of some sort that will be reached between Russia and Ukraine. I think Trump's going to be able to call a win on it. I mean, it's not going to be the clean one he wanted, but I think he'll be able to make it out to be his win. I think the midterms are going to be messy, but I think the midterms are going to be better for us than expected. I think if they're not, that's where you know, Joe, we talked about civil disorder and things like that. I think if the voting fraud that is being proven to be an endemic problem in the United States is able to essentially sway the election in the midterms, then ultimately that's going to be one of the things that points the camera at the overturned apple cart. So, I am hopeful, but I'm not putting my money on hope in the new year.
Hold on, I forgot something. I forgot something that's important. A hearty rest in peace to the ATF's tax stamp server. as of midnight, as it's rolling across the state, everybody can apply for $0 tax stamps on silencers.
Is that starting at midnight?
It has begun.
My question, Watcher, is: do you get anything for a $0 tax stamp?
I don't know, actually.
I think it's ridiculous. If there's no tax on it, there shouldn't be a registration on it.
Agreed.
Well, I agree with you.
Yeah, the registration should be illegal, flat out.
That proves to you that the ATF tax scheme is really a registration scheme and a consent to search scheme.
Facts on facts. Sorry, looks like I made the show miss time now. But yeah, all of you out there, go get your $0 potato.
$0 potato.
Oh, let's see. I don't know. I think 2026 is going to be weird. I think all of the new normals that have been established since 2024 roughly are going to go out the window. Unfortunately, I think a theme is probably going to be assassinations.
Yeah, it's going to be a big thing, right? On both sides, going back and forth, tit for tat.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry, Scott, made us miss time the show, but go ahead.
No. I was I can't remember what I was talking about, but ultimately, got a little in work calls. All right, guys. Anything else to cover? Anything else that we need to cover in 2025? I don't think so.
No, I think
we'll call it. Hey,
yes, but not much.
Look how much you did make a dent in that, my friend. You drink more than me. I only drank one shot glass, and I sipped that. So
that's just evaporation.
In the words of a great man, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, damage to Joe's liver.
Yep.
All right. If you haven't done already, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the bell for notification. Let your friends know you're getting some good stuff over here. Hit the like button is so important. If you guys would just go out of your way to do it right before you leave. I don't know why people on Rumble don't hit the like button. People on YouTube generally do a pretty good job. So appreciate you guys there. We will be back on Friday at the normal time. Thank you very much for Joe, Jim, and Watcher. I thank you. Have a happy new year and a good, even better 2026. And until then, stay safe.